And today we got a packed show for you, and we can't wait to dive in. We'll be breaking down Man U, Manchester United, and Chelsea encounter ahead of tomorrow's clash, and digging into what's happening at Chelsea's beyond the match, and then previewing a huge Arsenal versus Man City showdown coming up on the 21st of September. Joining me here tonight are wonderful minds and great analysts. From my left here, immediately here, I have Paulo. You're welcome, Paulo.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me. So excited to be back here once again. And it's the weekend coming up now. Or we're already at the weekend now. So excited. Club football resumes again.
Right. So, and next to Paulo, I have the wonderful Yamite here, right here in the studio.
Yeah. Good evening, the doc. Good evening, Paul. So yeah, so good to be back. Another few days has passed, and a lot is happening part time in the football world. So we can get right into it.
Right, and to you, our listeners and viewers on YouTube and Facebook, make sure you drop your thoughts in the comment section and make sure you're part of this action. We're always willing to listen to you, and we need to read from you. And your comments from this week are going to be read next edition of Talk Sport right here on Premier Sport Fan Center. So, diving deep straight into the issues tonight, we're looking at Manchester United versus Chelsea. This is a preview of tomorrow's match.
Game where Chelsea face off against Manchester United in the... Hello, welcome to Fans Reaction on Premier Sport Fan Center, and the reaction tonight is that of the game between Chelsea and Bayern Munich, which Chelsea lost 3-1 against the Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena in Munich. Also here with me is Yemite. Good evening, Yemite. We just saw that game between Chelsea and Bayern Munich. Yes, a fantastic performance from Bayern Munich, but not something to write home about from Chelsea.
Yeah, not something to write home about, because you see the way the guys approached the game, they were too conservative in that encounter. The shape in which the manager set up, they were struggling with it to play in that shape, and I don't know why he stuck with it for the second half of the game. I think it could have been more flexible. I don't know why he's so being too careful against Bayern Munich. Maybe he respected them. Even I think apart from the player, maybe the manager himself respected the opponent too much.
Okay, well, looking at the game or looking at the 90 minutes in totality, what is the future of Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League? Do you see them making it through to the next round?
See, I think the difference between Chelsea not getting something from the Esteval came in, they looked better. When you expand the shape, take your game to the opponent. You take the game to the opponent. Play your own football and keep them on the back foot. If you keep your opponent on the back foot, it will reduce the pressure on your defense. So I think that the manager got it all wrong, and he should take the blame.
Okay, as all blames are on the Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca, according to Yemite. But looking forward to the weekend game where Chelsea face off against Manchester United in the English Premier League, and this is a relaxed Manchester United, though in their own troubles. What do you think, or what are your observations from this game that you wish Enzo Maresca needs to change going forward in that game?
Number one, the overthinking. It doesn't make sense. Then he should not go and do what he did against Brentford, because he is the architect of Chelsea dropping points 2 games back to back. You are going into Champions League and you start that kind of starting 11 against Brentford, and they end up dropping the point. What kind of mentality are you building towards the next fixture? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Well, it's been at the managers, everyone, human being, you can get it right, get it wrong. Fine. But one thing is that the more it piles this insensitive decision up, the more it's going at the exit door.
Okay, the decisions has actually been a problem for Chelsea fans for like 2 weeks right now, from the game against Brentford over the weekend and tonight's game against Bayern Munich. We just hope to see an improved Chelsea when they face off against Manchester United at Old Trafford come this weekend. Well, you've heard it all from Yemite and fans' reactions. We come here again. It's bye for now.
Oh, another goal for Super Eagles.
Hello and welcome to Talk Sport tonight. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, fans. Good evening, football lovers all over the world. This is Talk Sports podcast from the studios of Premier Sports Fan Center. And tonight we're in here for a deep, honest, exciting football conversation. I'm your host. My name is Yinka Adebuyi. They call me Doc around here. And today we got a packed show for you, and we can't wait to dive in. We'll be breaking down Man U, Manchester United, and Chelsea encounter ahead of tomorrow's clash, and digging into what's happening at Chelsea's beyond the match, and then previewing a huge Arsenal versus Man City showdown coming up on the 21st of September. Joining me here tonight are wonderful minds and great analysts. From my left here, immediately here, I have Polo. You're welcome, Polo.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me. So excited to be back here once again. And it's the weekend coming up now. Or we're already at the weekend now. So excited. Club football resumes again.
Right. So, and next to Polo, I have the wonderful Yamite here, right here in the studio.
Yeah, good evening, the Doc. Good evening, Paul. So, yeah, so good to be back. Another few days has passed, and a lot is happening part time in the football world. So, we can get right into it.
Right, and to you, our listeners and viewers on YouTube and Facebook, make sure you drop your thoughts in the comment section and make sure you're part of this action. We're always willing to listen to you, and we need to read from you. And your comments from this week are going to be read next edition of Talk Sport right here on Premier Sports Fan Center. So, diving deep straight into the issues tonight, we're looking at Manchester United versus Chelsea. This is a preview of tomorrow's match in the EPL 2025-2026. Tomorrow night at Old Trafford, Man U take on Chelsea in what could be a defining game for both sides. United have been possibly this season, with Amorim still figuring out the best 11 he can keep using, while Chelsea are showing flashes of promises under Enzo Maresca, but remaining inconsistent all along as well. This is a fixture that has produced some iconic moments over the years, from title deciders to high-scoring fixtures and thrillers as well. Tomorrow feels like another chapter waiting to be written in the history of the EPL. Now we're looking at these issues. Both teams are coming into this with something to prove. United needs a result to win to stay in top four conversation, while Chelsea are desperate to string together back-to-back wins to remain contenders and proper EPL rulers. Tactically, this could be a battle between the structure Ten Hag built for Amorim and what Chelsea is aggressively putting together in their pressing game. So I'm going to go from here, taking Paulo first. What do you think? Who do you think between the two of them, Amorim and Enzo, has the better tactical edge in tomorrow's game?
Well, if you look at Manchester United, I'll start with Manchester United because I believe they are the home team. Yeah, so look at Amorim's and the tactics he has been playing since he joined Manchester United. A lot of Manchester United fans have been complaining about the tactics, and the players, they themselves, they've been feeling the impact of the tactics, but the manager has said he's not going to change, the tactics he's playing, and he's going to stick on with the tactics. And you look at Enzo Maresca as well. Enzo Maresca has been, with Chelsea for probably a season also, or a season and some few months now. So, but you look at his own tactics. It's just that he keeps changing players. Playing players out of position also, same as Amorim also, playing players out of position, and Enzo Maresca also the same. But if you ask me, I think Enzo Maresca tactics is still working compared to that of Amorim. Because to be honest, I've not seen Amorim tactics work really.
Thank you very much. So Amorim's tactic is sub-level to Enzo Maresca's tactic. That's what you heard from our wonderful analyst here. Paulo has just given to you. And yeah, might I go straight to you. If one player could make a difference in tomorrow's night, who will it be?
I think you can't think past Cole Palmer and Estevao, Branu, Buemo, then Kwa. I think some of these guys are the key German guys that should come to the party. If any of their team could want to do something special, then there's Jao Pedro also.
Wow. Jao Pedro. So we're looking at Cole Palmer making all the difference, and then Estevao, the young guy from South America, and then Jao Pedro. So nobody from Man U side for you.
That's why I mentioned Branu, Buemo, and Kwa.
I think Kwa is out. I think
Mbemo.
Kwa is
And Kwa is
We
injured
just have to
already.
come.
he has been declared fit
Okay,
by the
we'll
coach
have to
few
come.
minutes
Right,
ago.
so we got Kunga as an addition to the United squad. That's good news for Red Devils all over the world. And this picture has been one of the Premier League most iconic from Mourinho versus Ferguson. Mind games from minute to minute, drama all over the place. It has always carried so much weight. Fans still debate whether this rivalry is underappreciated compared to United versus Liverpool and Chelsea versus Arsenal. Now let's take it from here. Now, where does Man U and Chelsea rank among the top rivalries in EPL? Chelsea, Man U.
I think when you look at the rivalries, I don't think it's even 1 to 3 rivalries in England. I think even Chelsea Arsenal is way more expected.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when you look at it, there's Man U Arsenal. Okay, there's first Liverpool Man U. There's also Man U Arsenal. There is Chelsea Liverpool. Chelsea Arsenal. There's Man U Man City. You know those games. So I think it's not one of those German rivalries.
Okay,
It's just
so
two big club clash.
Right. Thank you, Paulo. So we're looking at which of them is your favorite? What's your favorite or most unforgettable United versus Chelsea moment ever in the history of EPL? For you?
I'm trying to remember the season again. I remember there was this particular match. Chelsea were I think 3-0 up, and it eventually ended 3-3. You know, and I couldn't forget that game. You know,
That was in the early 2000s.
I don't. I think it was during the Fergu era also, but that game was so very very tough. You know, unbelievable one. You know, I was thinking, Chelsea already got all 3 points, but you know, from nowhere up to today, a lot of Chelsea fans are still accusing the referee, which I'm trying to also remember his name, of being biased, towards them, and he made everything possible that Manchester United had to come from 3 goals down to level that game. I'll definitely try and remember the season and let our viewers.
Right, so you heard it from Polo, you heard it from Yemite, and right now let's zoom in straight in on Chelsea. Since Todd Boehly took over Chelsea, it's been a wild ride, record-breaking spending, managerial changes, and a squad overhaul, and a focus on young talent. But now, under Maresca, the question is whether Chelsea are finally building a long-term identity or still stuck in transition. So now, here's the thing here. There's a talent everywhere, and Chelsea's squad is full of talent. Enzo Maresca, Cole Palmer, João Pedro,
Enzo
Fernandez, pardon me, and Cole Palmer, João Pedro, the other Pedro Neto, and wonderful Estavio. But fans still wonder if there's enough leadership and balance, and Chelsea building a title-winning core or just collecting players. Yeah, Matt, I'm going to go straight at you, and I know you have a lot of affinity for Chelsea here. Are Chelsea finally on the right track with their project under Maresca, or do we still wait to see the Chelsea we want to see?
I think Chelsea is on the right track. One thing that is just missing is that big leadership that since Thiago Silva left has been missing.
Oh.
So, but I think, despite the fact that the leadership is not as much as you expect, they are not doing badly. I think, but one thing another we can also
So do we
mention
have
is
the
you
Chelsea?
can grow into leadership. You can have guys. You see, guys like Tosin now are beginning to grow more into that role because it's like almost the oldest guy in the squad. Guys like Rhys James too, as the captain, is trying to live up to Enzo Fernandez. So with time, I think that it will come good.
Right. So, which player is Chelsea's real leader on the pitch, and do they have enough personalities to compete at the top level? Paulo. For
Well,
you.
I think it's no other than the captain himself, Rhys James, because if you look at the Chelsea squad, I don't think there's anybody that has made more appearance for Chelsea, and as a overall, I think he has more appearance, for as a player for among the old Chelsea, players. So they look up towards him, as a real leader. He's been there since a very long time with Chelsea. I think he's from even the academy.
Yes.
So no any other person other than him, and probably might look like at also Enzo Fernandez, but I think Enzo Fernandez, is too, is it temperamental, for him to be, the real leader there. But I think it's Rhys James.
No,
I don't think
when
Yemi
you
agrees with that.
mention temperament, maybe you are talking about Bruno Fernandes.
No,
not
it's Enzo too. Enzo too.
Enzo is not temperamental. If there's one player that is temperamental in Chelsea, it's not Enzo.
Where?
I think that's maybe he's trying to say
No,
Bruno.
but perhaps
I know what
that's
I'm
his
saying.
own opinion.
I
of
know what I'm
Enzo.
saying
No,
about Enzo.
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't. Okay, for instance, if you check how many yellow card or red card,
It's
has
not
Enzo
just
taken?
about being yellow card only.
If you
see
are,
the way
if you have temper issues in football, you will get a lot of cards.
but not all. But we've seen the likes of Pepe. Playing. Committing
Pepe has
a lot of fouls, but
a
still,
lot of
how
red
many-
and yellow cards.
Pepe does not have too many red cards.
He has a lot of
Perhaps
yellow
Which-
cards.
because
which
he
Real Madrid-
played
even
for Real
Casemiro.
Madrid.
No,
Real
no,
Madrid
no.
has always been
Even
a
Pepe,
sacred
no,
goat.
no. I don't agree because
Pepe-
Sergio Ramos too
Okay.
was a Madrid player and is the player with the highest number of red cards.
Yeah,
So
let's
I
talk
don't
about
think- I
Pepe.
don't
What about
agree with
Pepe?
that.
Okay, under the London Knights, night scarf. Under the London's night sky, Stamford Bridge breaks again Europe anthem, echoing through its stands for the first time in almost 3 long years. The weight has felt internal, but the lights are back on. The stage is set as Chelsea, two-time king of the continent, are once again part of the Champions League story. What a reunion! Fate has scripted a familiar figure in the opposite of dugout. Jose Mourinho, once the architect of Chelsea's rise, now the challenger in Benfica's red, returning to the ground where its legend was written. Football never forgets, but it never stands still either. It cycles and it stings its turns. For Enzo Maresca tonight is a trial by fire. Three straight defeats have made patience team believe fragile. He comes here without his star boy Cole Palmer and without his defensive sentinel Tosin Adarabioyo. Stamford Bridge is not merely a stadium tonight, it's a theatre, a courtroom and a place of judgment, and the jury waits in the Blues fans. But here lies the beauty of football. In 90 minutes a despair can turn into deliverance. A win tonight would not only Christian Chelsea's return to the Champions League with victory, it would also breathe life into their season and still them for the weekend test against Liverpool, the champions, or the defending champions, and the runaway leaders of the EPL. So here we go, Chelsea Benfica under the Blues, under the bridge of light tonight, under the gaze of history, under the spell of Europe's greatest competition. The ball is about to roll, and once again, once more, it's the Champions League which writes its own poetry. Tonight, we'll be seeing Chelsea play against the Benfica, who are turning into a familiar foes or familiar team against the Blues. My name is Adiyem Shogun. I'll be your host of this watch along program on Premier Sports Fan Center. It's a commentary based program, and for the next 90 minutes we'll be taking you through the actions of games going on in the biggest competition in Europe, that is the UEFA Champions League. But I'm not alone in the studio to do justice to all days for the next 90 minutes. As I also have with me my partner in crime, Yemites.
Partner and good things. Good evening, Vias. Good evening, Shagun. It's so beautiful to be back, and a delight to see Chelsea back in the Champions League right there, and Champions League anthem returning to Stamford Bridge. Yeah, yeah, two marriage made for each other.
Yes, I'm talking about the two times now UEFA Champions League winners also playing against a team who has also won the UEFA Champions League. I'm talking about Benfica. It's a recognized team. The last time these two sides faced off was at the Club World Cup. In that game, that was actually just were winning, actually leading in that game. I think 1-0
Yeah.
before that
5 minutes,
weather issue in Miami,
7 minutes
and the game
to
had
go,
to be
yeah.
postponed or had to be dragged forward. And upon returning, Benfica, sting them, scoring in the dying minutes and pushing that game into extra time before Chelsea actually won that game against Benfica. Should we be expecting such fireworks tonight in this account?
Yeah,
Also?
first off, there's no lightning at the bridge. The only lightning are the ones the halogen and the lights of the field are providing. So I think that the momentum will not be cut short. You know, the momentum of that game was cut briefly, and the players really maybe well, like Maresca complained, were on their phones, distracted and all. But this is a game whereby the two teams are here to compete, and it's the biggest club competition in the world by all standards. So I think that yes, this one, it might not look like the one in the club.
Yes, one familiar man at the Stamford Bridge tonight, but he's on the opposite dugout tonight. He used to be, if not the most successful Chelsea manager, Jose Mourinho, on the side of what's it called, Benfica. He's a familiar figure when it comes to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, of course. That's one name every Chelsea fan, when they hear him, they smile. It brings so much joy because it was the foundation of whatever it is Chelsea achieved for the 18 years under Roman Abramovich that made Chelsea one of the big guns in European football. And yes, you just have to celebrate a living legend of the club and one of the icons of the club also. So I think that Jose Mourinho, the way it's being celebrated, it deserves that and more.
Okay, let's see what Jose Mourinho and his boys brings to Stamford Bridge tonight in this encounter between Chelsea and Benfica. It started already, and Benfica playing from the left of our screens with Omataya, which is the red top, and the white shorts. While Chelsea are also playing from the right to left of our screens, putting on their Omataya, the all blue jersey in this encounter. And Jose Mourinho on our screen there, one of the most successful managers in Europe, not just Europe alone, in the world of football. And earlier on in the UEFA Champions League tonight, Atlanta came from behind, one goal behind, to defeat Club Brugge 2-1 in that encounter. It was also the first start for Ademola Lookman in the UEFA Champions League for Atlanta this season. Carriers lost 5-0 against Real Madrid in what was an ultimate test for the Uzbekistan club, if I'm not mistaken. And also starting tonight, we have Atletico Madrid against Frankfurt. That game,
Kazakhstan, not
Kyrgyzstan. Atletico Madrid against Frankfurt is Atletico Madrid leading 1-0 against Frankfurt, and Tottenham Hotspur had to travel to Bodo Glimt. That is always a hard tough to go and get a victory. No matter how small Bodo might look on the Europe stage, their stadium is one of the coldest stadium to go and play football. We have the game between Chelsea.
Was there last season.
Yeah, they were there last season, so I think probably they should understand how it is played there. Yeah, just great chance for Chelsea. That is a wonderful shot there from the captain, standing captain tonight, Angel Fernandez. But that's only going into the back of the net as it rolls out, and it's going to be a goal kick to Benfica in that process. Chelsea testing and looking to take the force of sweat and blood in this encounter. Garnacho with a beautiful cutback there. Enzo Fernandez is Argentine compatriot there with a shot there, but that's only threatening the goalkeeper, and it looks like he has Benfica will be sweating on this. Their player right now will be confirming with the player is, but that game is already in the 4th minute. And also we have the big one tonight, Galatasaray against Liverpool. Nigeria's Victor Osimhen starts up front for Galatasaray in this one. He might be showing Liverpool what they actually missed not coming out for him when they were in need of a striker. Inter Milan against Slavia Praha. We have Marcel against Ajax, and also Pafos against Bayern Munich. That might just end up being one of those games that end 7-8-0.
Yeah, if there's one game I want to see Osimhen against a properly competitive team that this season. I want to see how he will feel, because the first Champions League game he was out injured from that injury sustained from the game between Nigeria and Rwanda. And on another note, South Africa has been deducted the point.
Yeah,
but,
3 points.
It doesn't seem like it will really make any effect on Nigeria right there. Maybe Benin will be the one really
Well,
enjoying
2 games to
the
go for both sides.
I don't think there's any because the 2 games are played in South Africa. Rwanda's home ground is in South Africa, South Africa, so, even Zimbabwe too. So I think that one is gonna. And back to that the game today. I think that yeah. Osimhen should at least try to show the stuffs he's made of. 75 million for him, and that salary is commanding 21 million a year. I think he needs to show a whole lot on the field of play.
Yeah, he needs to show a whole lot on the pitch of play. And one stadium where we are seeing the action already is the Stamford Bridge, where Benfica are currently attacking against Chelsea with this very chance. Right, first goal was straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez as he gathers that as Benfica through Sudakelv tries to attack against Chelsea. It looks like an end-to-end stuff in between these two sides, and that is one thing you get from Benfica and also Chelsea. You get to see both sides go to the end of it and try to frustrate each other and go at it and get a goal in this encounter. So I think we might be getting a lot of goals in this game between Chelsea and Benfica.
I think it's a game that the two teams will go at one another. This is not about being pragmatic. It's just about taking your own moment. When your moment arrives, you take your chances. I think we have a game on our hands whereby there should be a lot of goals, and I think that maybe some 1 or 2 players can make mistakes at the end of the day.
Yeah, we have Garnacho on the ball there, approaches on the Benfica's box there, but couldn't get on to the end of that, and it's looking lively in the early stages of this encounter. Talking about Garnacho with Chelsea, cooped from Manchester United, the Argentine starting his first game for Chelsea. A lot of criticism, a lot of insults from the Manchester United faithful online, saying that he hasn't gotten to start a game at Chelsea. And there's no way we'll talk about that left wing of Chelsea attack without also talking about Gittins, a big money signing from Borussia Dortmund, but he hasn't come to life or to the party at Chelsea. Do you think it's early enough to say he's already a failure at Chelsea?
No, it's too early, because when you look at Gittins, he's a very young player, 20 or around thereabout. And if you look at Garnacho has more experience, Premier League experience to be precise, in the Premier League. So I think that it will most likely, and that's a chance from Benfica and the cross. Oh!
The woodwork, and also it's going to roll out for a corner kick, and that was looking back here with the ball there for Benfica. Twice they've come very close to opening, getting the first goal. I think I'll fault Kukureya first with that pass, losing the ball in that position. That is one problem Chelsea fans really complained over the weekend. And starting from that game against Bayern Munich, there's no need for some back passes from Chelsea, because one of the back passes during the weekend cost that penalty, cost the red card of Chalobah. That was back pass from Andres Santos, and we saw that of Malo Gusto. Also gifting Harry Kane a goal against Chelsea. So they need to be careful with those back passes, but it's still Benfica who are threatening Chelsea. They finally won themselves a corner kick right there in the 8th minute of this encounter.
The red card of Roberto Sanchez against Man was defensive error. You see, and I think that you have to just give it to the manager. He complained about it. This guy that's going out ACL, you need to replace him, because these guys cannot just do this job. And it has shown that he's actually right, because Chelsea could have been out for compare the Bayer Leverkusen player, but Arsenal got him. But I think that Chelsea has a lot of improvement to do defensively.
He has a throw in there from Benfica as to take it straight into the middle of the park, but we go straight to the starting 11 for Chelsea. The upside is Robert Sanchez as the goalkeeper. Malo Gusto starts at the defense. We have Trevor Chalobah and Badashil both pairing at the heart of the defense for Chelsea. And at left back we have Marco Correa. Into midfield 3 of Bononate, Moses Caicedo, and also Angel Fernandes. Up front is Alexandre Garnacho and Pedro Neto, both flanking the young Tyreek George as a centre forward for Chelsea in tonight's air counter. Tyreek George, we know him to be a winger, but starting as a 9 tonight, yes, he has terrific shots in that foot. I do think he'll be playing very well for Chelsea as a 9 today. João Pedro is on the bench, and I think he needed that rest.
Yeah, he needed that rest. And Tyreek George, I think that is a 50-50 situation. You don't know if he will come up, but playing against experienced defenders, I think many of the times they'll just bully him off the ball and all those kinds of situations. But looking at it with this lineup, he set up a lineup looking like what he did against Brentford, trying to rest the key players for these so-called smaller fixtures. And the risk is that these are the fixtures you should go at and win them, so that the bigger fixtures, you know that it is 50-50. The route is treading. there's every tendency that Chelsea will struggle to qualify if he doesn't change this mentality.
Okay. Yeah, it's Bonanote on the ball there, returns back and finds Malo Gusto, who looks inward there, finds Moises Caicedo, finds a cross into the box there with that very chance for Chelsea. Easily caught out there by the big man in the defense for Benfica, Otamendi, talking about the Argentine. But yes, Chelsea attacking. Pedro Neto, a Portuguese, on the ball there for Chelsea. Looks to and as the Benfica's number 26 Dail on him there. Still Chelsea in possession with this very chance there. But Alejandro Garnacho couldn't get himself in position, but still just in possession of the ball. Marco Correa on the ball there, returns it back and finds Trevor Chalobah, who hope not to get a red card on today in this encounter. Just the attack from the wing there. Pedro Neto on the ball as he takes it down wide and cross into the box there with a really chance there. Alejandro Garnacho and go straight at goal. But looks more like a back pass onto the goalkeeper there, but it throws out for a goal kick onto Benfica. Chelsea also coming closer, but coming close doesn't do it until putting it that into the back of the net. And looking at some Benfica's starting 11 is 4-3-3 formation for Benfica in this encounter, as started by Jose Murillo, and the goalkeeper is troubling in defense. We have Dail, Otamendi, Silva, and Dedic. In midfield we have Rios. We know Rios right from the Club World Cup when he was playing in the Brazilian club. Palmares, if I'm not mistaken, with Esteval. And we also have Bereneche in the heart of the midfield, and also Ausnes. Wow. Up front we have Sudakov, Pavlidis, and also Luke Bakio in the starting 11 for Benfica in this encounter. Returns back to the Chelsea goalkeeper, that is on Robert Sanchez, who looks to his side and finds his Chelsea teammate. Why are they playing with here? So Chelsea in possession of the ball. Moises Caicedo returns it back and finds Badashi, who returns it to the Chelsea goalkeeper. And Chelsea rolls out so to the wing there, looking to attack in this encounter as the Blues still in possession. Malo Gusto looks inward and finds Chelsea teammate. Yes, Chelsea losing possession aimlessly at the back in this encounter. Benfica back in possession and returns back into the heart of the fence where it finds Silva. And that is Silva on the ball there as he goes out wide and finds his teammates. Yes, Benfica in possession, enjoying the better share of possession right now. We're straight into the 13th minute of that encounter. It's still 0-0, and one game where we have a lot of goals already in the UEFA Champions League tonight has to be the game between Olympique Marseille and Ajax. It's still 0 for the home side, Olympique Marseille.
Yeah, it looked like even the bookmakers actually went the way of Marseille. And with the way Marseille is approaching games these days, it looks like they are going to have one hell of a season at their hands. De Zerbi, I think, is cooking something maybe not so delicious for the opponent, but looks like really delicious for every Marseille faithful.
Okay, 2 goals within 12 minutes for Igor Paisao for Olympique Marseille in that account. I'm sorry, I really had to murder that name. Scorelines remains the same in other centers, with Atletico Madrid 1 goal up against Frankfurt, and goal scored by Raspadori in the 4th minute of that encounter. It's still 0-0 in that one between Galatasaray and Liverpool, and there is no Mohamed Salah starting this game for Liverpool.
Yeah, he has to rest. The number of games that is up for a season is not healthy for a 32 or 33 years old player. So they need to manage his minutes and look for some games that they can at least cut him some slack. And it's so good that Liverpool have done a lot of business, brought in some guys, and it's also Chiesa too is out of this one due to, I think, a slight knock or something.
He's always out injured. So that is not really that's the typical case we've always seen, and it looks like it's going to be a throw into Chelsea. 14th minute in that encounter. There's a really big battle there between Decic and also Marco Correa in the process. Is it Chelsea throwing, or will it be it's a Benfica throwing? The player, you just have to be careful with footballers, the way they just react. It's a throw into Benfica, who are trying to grow into this game between Chelsea and Benfica. Takes it straight into Luke. I'll call him Luke, but Lucabio also. Lucabio, okay. Look for the shots. Against Benfica attacker against Chelsea there. What will they make out of that? Beats his man. He goes straight for shots there. Well, that's when side netting and won't threaten the Chelsea goalkeeper in goal post. It's still 0-0 in that encounter at the 14th minute. Yeah, we expect a lot of goals in this encounter, but are you still thinking a lot of goals will surely be coming out in this game?
I still think there will be a lot of goals in this one, but it is one thing to have a chance-filled game whereby there are a lot of chances, but it's another thing for the conversion ratio. If you look at the game so far, there has been some chances that you can say maybe 60-40 a goal should pop out, especially from Benfica. So I think that, yeah, it is one thing to have a game that you create a lot of chances. It is another for the teams to take those chances, and it's Chelsea back in possession. 16th minute of that encounter at the Stamford Bridge. Yeah, the bridge come through today. Or maybe will it remain standing after not witnessing nights like this for 2 full seasons without the biggest competition. And Lukebio, we attacking to the ball, drops it for his teammate.
And that should be the chance. That should have been the goal there. You ask yourself, how the Rios not pull that into the back of the net? He should be rolling that into the back of the net. That is the best chance for Benfica's first goal. But Rios, the Colombia midfielder, couldn't pull that into the back of the net. What a chance for them there. And they should be scoring from that.
Yeah, they should be scoring. They should
and
be
look
scoring.
at the way Chelsea are losing the ball in the middle
carelessly.
of the park.
And look at how they were walking through Chelsea defense. I think this should be a worry for the manager, because if you have teams like Benfica walking through your defense like this, I wonder what teams like Barcelona would do.
Okay, as I'm troubling on the ball there, will there be a lot of trouble at the back for Benfica? Takes a long one into the middle of the park. Badashil gets on, shades his man of that, and still Chelsea in possession. Moises Caicedo will go straight to the wing there and finds Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto caught inward, the Arsenal smart to beat. What will he make? And go straight for goal. Well, that also sails off right there. We're seeing a lot of shots in this encounter, but none is here to go into the back of the net where it really matters most in the game. Pedro Neto with that corner there. Well, that needed, maybe they should push out the post a bit.
Yeah,
so it can extend it a bit so it can go. But that was so close there from him. There was nothing the goalkeeper was going to do there because he stretched the goalkeeper out there. But fortunately, that couldn't go into the back of the net. It's still 0-0 out of 17th minute. Troubling on the ball there. Takes a long one into the middle of the park. And finds his man in the middle there. But couldn't get onto that. So Badashil will get that earliest from Chelsea there. And he goes onto the ball. What will he make out of that? Finds Trevor Chalobah, centre back there. Returns it back to the French international Badashil. And Badashil goes on, returns it back to Trevor Chalobah as they are advancing forward into the Benfica territory. Here is Malo Gusto, looks in what they finds Bonanote. Bonanote with the ball there, switches and finds Badashil. Badashil will come forward with the ball there, switches and finds Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho looks in what they finds his compatriot and standing captain Angel Fernandez, who returns it and finds Trevor Chalobah, and here's Malo Gusto on the ball there. Malo Gusto switches out wide and finds Pedro Neto. What would Neto make out of that? He's in the box there for a corner, and he crosses into the box. Into the pass. Oh, the pass is and it's Garnacho who has forced down Benfica into making an own goal. The man who missed the goal, who missed the sitter, coming back to do that own goal for Benfica. Rios has just pulled that into the back of the net.
Yeah, Rios mistake happens like this in football, and if he doesn't snap out of it, it can kill the morale of his game. But you have to give it to Garnacho. Was at the right place at the right time. Look at where he timed
also that cross.
Chelsea has been trying this cross. All you see, Neto.
How do you leave him? How do you give him this number of room? Look at how much how much room, how much space they gave to Garnacho there. You don't give a player like that.
You look at where he's running in from. It's very difficult for a defender to stop him there. It is about the flight of the ball and the.
And he wasn't going for goal. Yeah, he wasn't going for goal.
No, he wasn't going to go for goal from that. It was a last stretch, and I think that this training ground routine whereby you try to run in behind the ball and try to attack the ball, and that's where we miss João Pedro. João Pedro would most likely be in that area, that circumference of the box right there. But one thing that is good is that Chelsea is leading. But the second thing is that Chelsea needs to improve attacking wise. Yeah,
Chelsea actually needs to improve in this encounter. And goals are coming in right there in the French centers. Bayern Munich won't go up in their own encounter. And also we have Galatasaray, who are currently leading against Liverpool in that UEFA Champions League tie as it stands right now. It's Victor Osimhen from the Sports in the 16th minute to give Galatasaray the lead. What a way to score against the defending champions of the EPL, Liverpool.
Yeah, you need games like this for Osimhen. Let him test his might against the creme de la creme of European football. And let them see the quality he possesses. But for you to take him from Gala, you have to pay the Gala.
Okay, so two goes up at the 21st minute for Bayern Munich against Pafos. Only God knows how much goals Pafos will be conceding in this one. Harry Kane with the first goal in the 15th minute, and Rafael Guerrero with the second goal in the 20th minute. Your man talking about Nicholas Jackson is still not starting for Benfica for Bayern Munich probably
He will
tonight.
hardly
He needs a
start.
goal. He
He's
needs a
just a
goal.
backup.
Probably. He starts as a starting nine for Bayern Munich tonight.
Playing ahead of Harry
I
Kane.
think Harry Kane is playing a bit behind him.
Yeah,
It's a
behind
two-man striker they're actually playing in Yaza and one of the goals scored by Bayern Munich. Looking at Bayern Munich starting 11, we have new as the goalkeeper Guerrero out in the fence. Kim Jae and Opamecano both appearing in the out of the fence, and we have Loma as the right back. In middle of the park we have Pavlovic and Kimmich at the base of the midfield. Up front is Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, and Michael Olise. And we also have Nicholas Jackson up front. So they're playing a two-man striker. That is Harry Kane and Nicholas Jackson. And we know Nicholas Jackson to be very good playing off the attacker. So probably they can make good advantage of that. A chance for Benfica to equalize. Would that be a penalty? No, the referee lets that slide, and it's Enzo Fernandez on the ball. Timely. That is actually a timely one from from Chaloba. I don't think that should be penalty worthy in that encounter. Still no goal in that game between Inter Milan and Slava Praha, and also no goal in that one between Bodo Glimt and Tottenham Hotspur. But back to our focal match, which is the Chelsea Benfica encounter, and at the 22nd minute rather is 1-0 Chelsea leading. Chelsea going forward again, looking to get the second goal. Malo Gusto couldn't keep hold of that, but it's a Chelsea throw-in right there. The French international will take that throw-in and sends it back into the part of Moises Caicedo. And Caicedo looks onto the wing and finds his Chelsea teammate. Returns the back. Is Moises Caicedo in possession. Takes a long one. Finds
Neto.
Bonanote there. Bonanote also onto the ball there. Returns it into the middle of the park. Chelsea enjoying better share of possession right now in this encounter. Can they double their lead? Pedro Neto on the ball. He has his man to beat here. What will he make out of that? Can he take a dial out of that? Returns it into the middle and finds Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez with long one. Bonanote rather. But that's threatening, troubling the goalkeeper. And Chelsea got me close to get the second goal in this one.
Yeah, the closer the better for the Stamford Bridge faithfuls. They are so happy singing the songs. Yes, Chelsea has given them something to smile and to cherish in this game so far. 1-0 Chelsea lead at the 23rd minute of that encounter. But it has been a game that has not been fair to Benfica so far, because Benfica has had the better chances created so far in that one. Moises Caicedo with the ball right now. And now it looks like maybe can we say it's beginning to wind down for Jose Mourinho as a manager. Looking at the way he's still, we saw his stint at AS Roma, his stint at Fenerbahce, and now Benfica struggling.
He didn't. I didn't think he actually did bad at AS Roma. Start with AS Roma. Yeah, with limited budget, he took them to winning the Conference League, if I'm not mistaken, in that team, and Europa League final also. So I think he actually achieved at AS Roma. But Fenerbahce were actually, I think they finished second on the log last season. I think where they had the issue with him has to be them not qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. That was where the issue with Fenerbahce. And you look at the league, Fenerbahce were competing against Galatasaray, who without argument are the best team in the Turkish Super League. We saw them last season. There's no way you're having a Victor Osimhen up front. You look at the number of goals he scored for Galatasaray, you surely have to expect them to win the league. So I think they didn't really
they did a double on Fenerbahce.
So they didn't give him that much time needed at Fenerbahce. But he's back at where it all began for him. That is Benfica. So let's see. You look at it in the Portuguese league. Yes, Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, and probably FC Porto are the best sides in that league. So you still look at the caliber of players in this Benfica side and feel that yes, probably in that league he can push them to win one or two titles. This might just be his retirement plan. we don't really know.
But maybe he will still enter the national team market.
I don't really see. I don't really think see Jose. There are some managers, maybe the likes of Jose Mourinho, the likes of Pep Guardiola. I don't really see them as that
national
team kind of managers.
Be
They always want to
patient
be
wait.
in the dugouts every
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
It gets boring. It gets boring to them when they are not playing
dugouts.
or they are not in the dugouts within up 2 months or 3 months. So it's really going to be so much boring for them. They really want to be in that place where they can be explosive and try different type of strategy. So I don't really expect Jose Mourinho to metamorph or make that switch to national team management.
But it can be.
Yeah, he can.
The former Chelsea Guzidin, that he was managing Chelsea and at the
Russia.
same time managing Russia. So 25th, approaching the 26th minute at the Stamford Bridge, Chelsea still leading 1-0. An own goal from a Brazilian.
He's Colombian.
Yeah,
Rios.
Colombian
Rios.
came from a Brazilian team,
Yeah,
actually. Palmeiras. And yes, and it's so good to see how the Brazilian clubs have been beginning to compete in the transfer window, bringing in
They
players from
actually
Europe.
made good money during the Club World Cup. That was the advantage of the Club World Cup to them because
Yeah.
it exposes a lot
A
of
lot of talent.
fantastic players in the
And Garnacho approaching the box. Tries to cross that one. But, we have to talk about Garnacho. Your thoughts on Garnacho? Because looking at the way he has started life at Chelsea, it's not looking like the way Sancho started life at Chelsea. That, it was every touch Sancho had on the ball. You see that a lot of talent inside of that young
I
man.
look at both players as different profile player. Garnacho is a player who depends more on him getting into the box, that is busting out on pace. It depends more on his pace. You have Garnacho, Sancho, who is another talented player who holds onto the ball. His hold up play is really massive.
Yeah.
You hardly see players like Sancho. For teams, you just have to look at it that even for indiscipline in court, probably we'll have had one of the world beater in Jadon Sancho, but fortunately things didn't go as planned out for him at Chelsea. Though not really much, we don't really see much goals from him, but he's one player you always want to come up against low blocks teams. But let's see how Garnacho is going to handle it at Chelsea. Yes, the talent is also there for Garnacho, but this is another player who has discipline issue all around him. But Chelsea really manage Jadon Sancho, so we expect Chelsea to manage.
But it would have stayed at Chelsea if you are taking that.
Yeah, if you are taking that pick up.
You see this wage structure.
It comes to management also.
Yeah,
is he earning up to that at what's it called, Aston Villa right now?
It's percentage.
It's percentage. It's
Yes,
still out on low.
50.
But we saw how much he was willing to take as Juventus, but Juventus couldn't agree on price fee with Manchester United.
But you know that Chelsea negotiated with him at the beginning of the transfer window, so he had not had a realistic
is it what
chance
is 200 or 230 he wants?
Maybe.
I don't think he's what it's.
But I think that
it
can be really explosive. It can be one major player you rely on for a team.
Okay, but not in a big team. Indiscipline.
Yeah, his attitude. But I think, look at Rashford too. I think there's something about Man U. It's like indiscipline and Manchester United are in the same WhatsApp group.
All right, so straight into the 29th minute, 1 minute away. We can see that's the man there called Palmer on our screens. I'm not starting for Chelsea tonight, but in the VIP box of the Blues there. Here's Benfica in possession of the ball. What will they make out of this? As they're looking to come back into this one, force an equalizer of Chelsea in this game. Can they do that in the early stages of the second half of this first half? Rather, it's going to be a free kick out to Benfica. That was Malo Gusto costing Chelsea that, and Benfica will take that as early as possible and finds out in the defense there. We have Silva on the ball there, comes forward with the ball for Benfica and looks inward into the middle of the park, and we're straight into the part of Luque Biacchio, okay. Returns back into the middle of the park. Here's Benfica attacking against Chelsea. Finds himself in the Chelsea half of the pitch, but Chelsea returns it back and finds Rios, who returns it into the out of the fence to Otamendi. Otamendi finds his centre back pair. I'm talking about Silva. And Silva looks onto the wing there, finds Dedic. Dedic looks inward. Chelsea regains possession, but shots hold L there. The referee says it's going to be a Chelsea throw-in, but we have Ricardo Rios of the goal scorer in this encounter. I'm currently down there, but the
The
Chelsea
own goal scorer.
own goal scorer. He's the only goal scorer in this game already. So
Yeah.
own goal or anyhow,
Own goal is
a goal has been scored in this encounter by Ricardo Rios, the Colombian. Yes, Chelsea in possession. Trevor Chalobah finds Badashil. Badashil holds onto the ball, looks in well, then finds Moises Caicedo. Returns to Badashil. What's he doing there? Well, this is one that sends it onto the wing here. Finds Marco Correa. Correa returns it back to Badashil. Badashil takes a walk back to the Chelsea goalkeeper. As it stands on right now, we have a Marcel 3-0 up against Ajax, and also Bayern Munich 3 goals up against Pafos in the 31st minute. That game is fast moving away from competitive one.
Oh, yeah, it's fast moving from being a competitive one. Yeah, you don't expect anything competitive when Pafos is taking on Bayern Munich, because as far as I'm concerned, they
And
will always
finally,
win.
it's Nicolas Jackson with his first goal for Bayern Munich in the 31st minute. What a way to start life out of Bayern Munich for the Senegalese on loan striker from Chelsea.
And it's a win-win for Chelsea. If it goes in, learn a lot from Harry Kane, come back and see.
Is
there's-
there any part back into the Chelsea start? Chelsea
I
team?
think there is.
Alright.
Yeah, because if you look at the Chelsea forward, I think the only competition he has is Liam Delap. And if you can get a Jackson to finish with his build-up play.
Don't forget, Chelsea
My
signed
God.
Emega from Strasbourg.
Yes, a mega is coming, but you know that football is a function of what is happening part time.
I don't think there's a
If
pass back.
a Jackson gets 20-something goals for Bayern, and Bayern is not willing to cover that 80-something million in total for the transfer, I think that Chelsea will want to keep him or scare other teams away. You know, this thing is a win-win situation for Chelsea. Is either you get the huge money or you get the huge potential.
Okay, so I'm left to see how that pans out between Chelsea and Nicolas Jackson come end of the season. But he has scored his first goal and the third for Bayern Munich against Pafos in that account. Lucas, we also have a Martinez for Inter Milan. The Inter Milan captain, always reliable with goals for Inter Milan. It's Inter 1, Slavia 0, and it's Lautaro Martinez with the first goal in that encounter.
Yeah,
So the only
expected.
center without a goal right now is the Bodo Glimt game against Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, Bodo Glimt. Let's see if Lightning will strike in the first half of that one. But at the Stamford Bridge, the Lightning has struck, and Chelsea is the one that is leading 1-0, 32nd minute of that encounter. And it promises to be an exciting time of football. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the meal we are serving you here at the Premier Sport Fan Center. Yes, Chelsea leading 1-0, and the same way we've been seeing goals right, left, and center. Talking about Kylian Mbappe, the guy doesn't seem to want to stop
Well,
scoring.
a quality
anytime
player
soon.
on this day,
Fantastic
right from the
talent.
age of 16 when he
Yeah.
blew out at AS Monaco,
Yeah.
down to PSG, down now to Real Madrid. Even with the French national team, he was under 20 when he led them to the World Cup and win in 2018, if I'm not
18, yeah.
mistaken. So he's a fantastic player. At the age of 26, the experience is right there in that young
My
man, and
goodness.
he's just getting into the peak of his
Yeah,
career.
he's
So he's
just-
picking up at the right time. So a lot of goals you can always expect from him. He's never shy of putting the ball into the back of the net, and he knows the back of the net even with his eye closed.
Yeah.
So a fantastic striker any day. He knows how to hit the ball. So I'm not always surprised when I see Kylian Mbappe scoring for Real Madrid. He's a big steal for Real Madrid for the fact that they got him for zero amounts.
Yeah, really good business for Real Madrid, but they have to pay him too, huge.
Yeah, they have to pay him.
He's on
huge, yeah.
huge salary, the compensation, loyalty bonus, and all those things. I think that deal amounted to over 100 million or thereabout. If you sum
He's
it
actually
all up,
worth it.
is worth it. Every single penny Madrid spent on that young man. An hat-trick today. Oh, I think was it 4 goals or an hat-trick?
I guess some carriers, yes, I'll be
against
confirming
Kairat.
that.
Yeah, so Chelsea still leading 1-0, 34th minute of that encounter. A yellow card straight to the number 5 for Benfica. Barrecha. Maybe I'll just stick with number 5 because there are some names that you don't have the dentist set it up.
Okay, so that's the yellow card to Benfica there, and it's that man in the middle there, Barrecha, picking up that yellow card for Benfica. It happens to be the first yellow card in this account. 34th minute of that game is 3-0 also in that one between Olympique Marseille and Ajax. That is fast turning into a friendly match as Marcus It's Greenwood, sorry, who got up the third goal from Olympic Marseille in that encounter. It's a free kick up to Chelsea in this game. Chelsea will be looking to double their lead against Benfica in this encounter. It's the first half and the 34th minute, and if there's one team that is never reliable with one goal, it has to be Chelsea. So I'm very sure if Chelsea fans around the world will just be praying that Chelsea gets the second goal in this first half.
Yeah, one goal. We saw Brighton at the weekend. Also one goal. So with Chelsea leading one goal is not secure.
It's more like 0-0.
It's more like 0-0 actually. So I think that yes, they need to even getting the second goal too can prove to be very, very dicey for Chelsea, because these boys are here to fully mature into men. Because if we were men, you'll be comfortably with it.
Benenote on the ball there, switches to the wing where he finds Pedro Neto. Neto with the ball there, Benenote asking for the ball, but Pedro chose to go in for a cross. Kukureya against Luka Bia there. Kukureya winning the ball there, drops it straight on the part of Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho looks inward and finds Enzo Fernandez. Enzo on the ball there, still holds onto it. What will he make out of that? Out for a Chelsea throw-in. As Chelsea dominating possession in this account. At 35th minute, it's still 1-0. Chelsea leading against Benfica in that time. Badashil on the ball there, returns it back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez.
I don't know why Chelsea had not put Badashil on the transfer market. Honestly,
He's always out injured whenever the window is open.
I don't know.
So that is what's about him. He's always out injured. Okay, straight to possession in this account and match overview. Chelsea are having the better share of possession with 62% of the ball, while Benfica reduced them to just 38%. But total shot for both sides has been 4 shots in this encounter, and 2 goalkeeper saves for Chelsea, 1 goalkeeper save for Benfica in this encounter. Chelsea are having the better share of passes in this game, 251 passes to the Blues, while Benfica has only been able to complete 154 passes in this encounter. They need to do better if they want to get an equalizer against the Blues in this game.
Yeah, they need to do better. They need to come out and play the game of football. They need to take their chances. They need to take one at goal against their opponent right there and bring this game to life the way we would have loved it to be right there. So 37 minutes of that encounter, runners are right there being penalized by the referee for bringing down Moises Caicedo.
It's not that yellow card for them, but that is 2 yellow card already.
2 yellow cards
for
already,
Benfica.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just see. And one player too that needs a lot of rest has to be Moises Caicedo.
Yeah,
you don't want
it's
him
so
out for
unfortunate that
months.
Chelsea had to lose up Dario
Sugo, yeah.
to injuries. I think he should be back around January or February.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
at the time where you thought what's it called, Moises Caicedo will be getting his rest, the man who was bought over to make that possible for him is out injured. But let's see how much can Romeo Lavia still fit for Chelsea. That is another determinant right now, because he's back, he's on the bench, and I expect Romeo Lavia to start against Liverpool come this weekend. Probably Chelsea will look into resting Moises Caicedo for that game.
Yeah, maybe, but let's see how far they will go. But I think Andre Santos too can also cover up in that position. Maybe not as Moises Caicedo will do, but I think he will do a good job too, because I think that was the role he was known for at Strasbourg last season for most of the season.
Yeah, he can actually play as a 6, but I see him more as an 8 than
yeah,
6. He looks more productive as a central midfielder than him playing as a defensive midfielder. Talking about defensive structure, yeah, it's Robert Sanchez on the ball for Chelsea and looks inward and finds Badashil, where it turns back to the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Sanchez make out of that, sends a long one into the Benfica's half. Marco Correa will chase that as the Chelsea striker is winger. Alejandro Garnacho is on the ball right now, looks inward and finds Enzo Fernandez. Here's a 1-2 between Moises Caicedo and Garnacho. Moises Caicedo on the ball for the Blues there, and looks to switch to the wing there, but finds Malo Gusto, finds Badashil, and here's finally onto the part of Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez on the ball there, switches to the wing and finds Tyrick George, who I think is looking so bored playing as a 9, because he had to come to the wing this time around to get a touch off the ball.
Yeah, he has been isolated up front from most of this encounter in the first half, and I think that yes, he's one player that is just maturing, so it's going to actually be difficult for him playing against the Benfica as the first 9 and Chelsea attacking Cucurella with a cross. Oh, but the Benfica goalkeeper was at the right place at the right time and stopping any threat that could have posed on the Benfica defense. Look at that cross into the box, but no
But
No
nobody,
Chelsea
nobody, no
player.
Chelsea player there to
Mm.
put a touch on that. Okay, it's 2-0 in that game between Atletico Madrid and Frankfurt as Nomad has doubled the lead of Atletico Madrid in that encounter. Let's see if Atletico Madrid can actually keep that up in that game. It's 4-0 in that one between Pafos and Bayern Munich. I was predicting 8-0, but right now it's looking like, yes, we might be seeing maybe it's 9-0 or so in that encounter. 4-0, 4-0 as it stands right now in the 38th minute. Bayern Munich are really, really going riot against Pafos. Harry Kane with his second goal in this encounter, and Bayern Munich have fought in this game. I scored that in the 34th minute of that encounter. Always a dependable striker. Talking about Harry Kane. Inter Milan also 2-0 up against Slavia Praha in that encounter. The goals are coming in like water.
Yeah, goals are coming in thick and fast, and yes, those are expected scoreline so far in those encounters, and yeah, a 2-up for Inter Milan is done and dusted. And also, see, the Champions League looks like it's going to turn up for the guys this season, and yeah, they are looking more suit. It's only Liverpool that's yet to.
Tottenham that is there to score a goal in this
Yeah,
game.
Tottenham also. Yeah. So,
Okay,
but
corner kick quickly taken there by Chelsea. Malo Gusto on the ball there. As Chelsea are looking to double their lead. We're straight into the 41st minute of this encounter. 4 more minutes to play in regulation time of first half. Yeah, well, Chelsea make it that. Switch straight to the wing there. Here's Garnacho switching wing already in this game. Here's Pedro Neto, always depending on the space. Still holds onto the ball there for the Blues. What will he make out of that? Cuts inward and still holds onto the ball. Switches and finds a low spot block there. Cross into the box there. Chelsea still trying to come back into this one. Alejandro Garnacho on the ball there. Turns around, still holds onto it and finds Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez brought down there, but the referee said that should be a free kick up to Chelsea. And it's rightly given right there in the 41st minute. A free kick for Chelsea, a chance for Chelsea to double their lead against Benfica. I think Ricardo Rios needs to be careful with going into the tackles. He's on the yellow card already.
yeah, he's on a yellow card. He needs to be very, very careful. He must be aware of the fact that yes, he's one card down, but hey, another can come in, and before you know it, you're out of the game, and you start putting your teammate under intense pressure. So he needs to be careful, really, really careful.
That is Richard Rios gifting out a free kick up to Chelsea right there. As a free kick to Chelsea, what will they make out of that in the 42nd minute? Will it be on a swinger? Will it be a direct goal from the Blues in that one? Only time will tell. We have Benfica players on the wing in the box there. We saw what's it called? The Chelsea captain, Reece James, scored from the free kick against Benfica during the Club World Cup. And this time around, there's another Chelsea captain who's standing on this. Enzo Fernandez for the Blues there. And what will he make out of that? He leaves that for Pedro Neto, and the cross into the box. Our net is not going to the back of the net. Badashil should be scoring from that. That was a free one for Badashil. You look at that. Oh, would that have been an offside? No. Yeah, I think it would have been an offside if that had gone into the back of the net. But he should be scoring this for Christ's sake.
Yeah, the flag was already up. The flag was up already, so meaning that's an offside. 43rd minute at the bridge, you can see the Benfica fans cheering their team, trying to see if they can cheer them to victory right there. And the way it looks, I think as big as Chelsea is, Chelsea deserve a better home ground than what Stamford Bridge has.
I think there are talks on that, on probably upgrading or switching or moving to another.
Which would you prefer?
I would rather prefer them upgrading the Stamford Bridge because it's a lot of memories for Chelsea. So instead of switching or instead of moving, upgrade is actually what I'll prefer for the club. Okay, scoreline is up from different centers. Atletico Madrid currently 2 goals up against Frankfurt, still 0-0 in that one between Bodo Glimt and Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea, so rather, I don't Nigeria. Chelsea will go up against Benfica in the 44th minute. Galatasaray leading by a solidarity goal scored by the Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen from the spot. Inter Milan against Slavia Praha is currently 2-0. Inter Milan leading Olympic Marseille leading 3-0, and finally Pafos has restored put one goal back into the net against Bayern Munich. That game is currently 4-1, and the only goal both team scoring situation in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, that game is spoiled for a lot of goals. a lot of goals, lot of it. So I think that
But
yes,
this scoring one, I think they actually tried.
they actually tried. The book is
Here's a chance for Chelsea.
what
What
is
is
this?
that from, what's it called? Tyreek George. Tyreek George should be scoring that. And that's the difference between a striker and a winger.
False nine,
And the
yeah.
false nine, yeah. You can see that again. There's going to be a long one. There's Benfica coming out to attack against Chelsea right there in the 45th minute of this game. It's going to be a counter from Benfica. Rios are losing possession. No, that wasn't Rios. Against Chelsea back in possession against Benfica in this one. Kukureya back into his defensive line there. Still holds onto the ball for the Blues. What will he make out of that? So still scanning through the pitch to see where to drop the ball, and finds Angel Fernandez. And Fernandez
This
is also
a
playing
very
against.
silly pass.
Fernandez is also playing against his
A
former team,
yeah.
Benfica.
And the team will be grateful that he left for a whooping some. And look at, I think George could have done better.
He should be doing better. He should
Maybe
be doing better.
keeping that ball and committing the player to a foul right there. But I think he could have done better.
It's
from
going to
that
be a
play.
throw into Benfica right there on the 45th minute mark there. We are waiting to see how much minutes will be added by the fourth official in this encounter. But we also have a goal to report. Atletico Madrid tripling their lead in that one against Frankfurt. It's Atletico Madrid 3, Frankfurt 0 in the first half already.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. You kill it off in the first half. And what a morale boosting win, the Clasico, Madrid derby rather, the weekend. So you just
5-2.
have to follow that up with that kind of
Oh,
performance.
that
And,
looks like a yellow card to a Chelsea player who actually got that. It's Angel
Enzo.
Fernandez getting straight into the referee books. It's 1 minute additional time being added here by the fourth official. With the third goal for Atletico Madrid was scored by Antoine Griezmann right there in the 46th minute of that encounter. So it's just going to make the second half, work really look like for these
walk
teams.
over
The
for
likes of Atletico Madrid, looking at also Olympique Marseille and Bayern Munich. The second half will really be a light work for them.
yeah, it will just be like a training section, just to get the run down the clock and just get all 3 points at the end of the day. And it's a league kind of thing. So every goal you score counts. So I think they want to make every goal count.
Yeah, might just be a chance for Benfica, but unfortunately, the last touch actually evaded them, and Chelsea will look to eat on the counter. Alejandro Garnacho on the ball there, tries to make a move there, but was actually brought down by the Benfica midfielder.
And it's halftime.
Okay, it's halftime already. That encounter. You can see Richard and Rios there having, discussion with the referee there. I think he's maybe one of those moments in this game where he felt undone in this encounter.
Yeah, so it's halftime at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading 1-0. The same way they led to halftime against Brighton.
That shows how much you are really scared of them coming back into.
Not about being
Into the second
scared,
half
it
and
shows
conceding.
how disappointed I was.
But
with
chances
their
were
performance.
not really there for the Blues in the whole of this first half.
Yeah, but they were just lucky to be leading. They should have been trailing if the game was fair today so far. So it's not as if I'm impressed with their performance so far. It has been an indifferent performance for me from what happened from the weekend. And I don't know what Enzo Maesca is thinking. Against a tactically sound Jose Mourinho, second half be expecting fireworks.
Yeah, so we have a big second half to come in that encounter between Chelsea and Benfica. Our Chelsea lead 1-0, cutting that unfortunate own goal by Richard Rios in this encounter. But let's look at some of the Chelsea players' performance in the first half. Alejandro Garnacho is starting his first game, and he looks a bit lively in the first half.
Yeah, it looks lively in the first half, and but he has not really covered himself in glory. His take-ons, how many successful take-ons did he have in the first half? A lot of dropping of the balls, a lot of runs that are not clear, 50-50 runs. You can't compare with what Pedro Neto has done so far in this game. So I think that Garnacho needs a lot of growing up to do.
Okay, also looking at that man who is starting as a starting line for Chelsea, Tyreek George. We didn't really see much from him, but I won't really be faulting him because he is actually a winger. But a lot of arguments from the Chelsea fans that yes, you brought back a certain McGee from loan at Sunderland, but he hasn't been able to play for Chelsea since coming back.
Yeah, it's been a long road for him, but yeah, I think that Over time, he will have his chance. He will have his chance, really.
Okay, it's
He will
left to
have his
see
chance.
how much chance he'll be having at the Chelsea. And looking at the Chelsea bench, Enzo Maresca has a Master Marik on the bench. There's also Philip Jorgensen. We have Jorel Atto, Rhys James, the captain, is on the bench. George Archipog. There's also Jamie Gittins, Stephen William, Romeo Lavia, Reggie Walsh, and João Pedro, and also Mark Gui on the bench for Chelsea. Yes, it's still looking like a rich bench for Chelsea. Which of those players do you think might be coming into the second half and changing the course of it off of the Blues?
I think João Pedro, they can't take it past him. There's no presence in the box. So I think that's one of the things Chelsea has suffered from in the first half. No presence. I think if Rios has not put a leg to that, but I don't think there's anybody that will put a leg to it. To put it at the back of the net. So I think they need presence in the box, and that's where João Pedro comes in.
Okay, looking at Jose Mourinho's the first half, first 45 minutes, how will you rate his approach to this game?
I think the approach is good. You have to consider the utensils that he has, the he has on the field. You have to compare your strength and your weaknesses. You are playing against a side that is well bloated with talent and pacey players, young, exciting players. So I think that yes, he has approached the game with so much caution, which is expected. Then you can now play your chess game with the second half. Once you've seen what your opponent has brought to the table, then you know how to go at it at the end of the day. But even with the first tactics he brought into play, they created a lot of chances. But it is not for the manager to convert the chances; it's for the players to convert the chances on the field of play. So when you have a team that are creating chances. Look at how many times Lukebio had to walk into the Chelsea box. Look at how many times they didn't really do much coming out of those attempts. So I think that yes, he has done well so far, and they can improve on it.
Okay, yes, I'll be having a big 45 minutes to come very soon in the UEFA Champions League. But before we leave out the Chelsea game, what do you expect Enzo Maresca to be doing in the second half? Chelsea needs a lot of goals. They need more goals in this game against Benfica. It's a league format, and you need more goals. You need to score a lot of goals when possible.
Yeah, I think that he has no choice than to introduce Joao Pedro. They need a presence in that box. You need to defeat the not too competitive team before you go and face the competitive team, so that you can gather as much point as possible and not make the mistake he made against Brentford. Go at the smaller teams, take all 3 points, then you can leave the bigger teams to chance 50-50. So look at the number of smaller teams. I think Chelsea doesn't have more than 3 or thereabout. Maybe a bit smaller, medium team. I think there is a Karabakh, there is Atalanta.
I think there's Pafos also.
I think there's Pafos. Apart from that, the rest, Bayern, Barcelona, Napoli. So I think that yes, these ones are the points that you can easily gather, and they should gather it as soon as possible.
Okay, there's still a big 45 minutes to come in that game at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and the Benfica. As it stands right now, it's Chelsea 1, Benfica 0 at halftime. That goal was scored by Ricardo Rios already in the 20th minute of that encounter. We go straight to the Pafos against Bayern Munich. Nicholas Jackson with his first goal for Bayern Munich, and that should be a big morale booster for the on-loan player.
Yeah, there are a lot of goals he has scored for Chelsea too that we thought we spoil him on, and ended up spoiling him backwards. So I think that for the Jackson issue, we have to see him over time. Time has to test, because you cannot be on the training pitch every single day with an hurricane, an encyclopedia of goals, and not learn something. That if he does not learn something, that means something is wrong with him.
Okay, I'm talking about that man, Harry Kane. 2 goals already for the Englishman in this encounter. There's no small team to Harry Kane. He always wants to score against every team. I'll be looking forward to him getting an hat-trick in this encounter. Hat-trick, I can't really count how many balls we have at home right now.
Honestly, the guy is a goal machine. You have to give it to him. For me, the current best striker that existed for the past 10 years.
It's always consistent.
When you can score that number with a Tottenham, you just phantom it in a Tottenham. And what is the creativity in Tottenham? in those years that Harry Kane was there. And just imagine he had been in the front line of Man City for those years. Imagine he would have tore the this guy's record, Alan Shearer. He would have tore it apart, honestly. And if you don't send Alan away from the Premier League, maybe he will be the one to tear that numbers apart, because the guy is doing crazy numbers.
Yeah, really crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers,
Alan,
honestly.
they were right there. Even in his off season, you still having a striker getting 19, 20 goals in his off season.
Yeah, you know they are a victim of their own performance,
Yeah.
because when he now scores 25, people are now criticizing him. And when you score 25 as a striker, you have done well, but because of the standard they've created for themselves, then that was a silly Cavaja issue.
Yeah, in the
And,
dream match they won of the
needless red card.
UEFA Champions League. Okay, going straight, we have Michael Lise with 2 assists already in this game. Yes, you know, some people actually argue that he is the cause of him not really being, maybe there's not a lot of PR on the side of Michael Olise, but a
Honestly.
fantastic player. You look at his performance last season. He was rated 35th on the Ballon d'Or's list. I really disagreed with having Michael Olise at the 35th, because when you look at his output for Bayern Munich, though he's a quiet player and I think he lives a quiet lifestyle, not that kind of player you see on the social media. You actually see his presence week in, week out,
yeah.
but except on the pitch where he actually makes his presence felt. I watched the game against Chelsea, and he was really a handful one for the Chelsea defenders.
Yeah, a really, really exciting player. When you look at him with the LeBlanc, you will see that he has a whole lot of it. Now you're looking at
At the time,
DJ.
I was actually praying he should play for
Yeah,
of
but
Nigeria.
he wouldn't. I won't pray he should, because they will kill many of the things he has in him with the attitude. Imagine him not going to the World Cup. So, Olise, look at the way Didier Deschamps is trying to build the wing side around him. He has given him more room to operate,
Yeah.
because he can carry the team. You've seen a lot of carrying he has done for Bayern Munich. One hell of a bargain. Chelsea lost that guy because of wage structure. There are a lot of players Chelsea will still lose. That's one of the dangers with that wage structure. You won't get the creme de la creme. It is wages that made Saliba wait at Arsenal.
But
It is
Chelsea
the way-
also needs to win trophies before they can balance their FFP. There's lots of
Yes,
issues
but you
on
need these
FFP
guys
side.
to win the trophies.
Okay, let's see how
No,
it
you know
goes.
there's a difference between, if we win this and this, but a wage structure is that you have to play for the club for some time, because before you can earn some things. Imagine.
I guess left to see how Chelsea handles their wage structure, but looking at the way they handled Michael Olise and also Victor Osimhen's situation, is very glaring that the Chelsea owners are not ready or buying
No,
into
let's
the
just say
idea.
hierarchy.
Just
because
hierarchy and
the
not
guys that are
buying into the
operating-
idea of spending much on paying the wages of players. Talking about Victor Osimhen, his 16th minutes penalty is the difference between Galatasaray and Liverpool. Liverpool are topping in the EPL, but they seem to be struggling in the early stages of the season. But the results, they're grinding it out.
Yeah, that's the hallmark of a champion, but you should not be struggling at this early stage of the season. It is one thing that, yes, if it's the time where fatigue is setting in and all, they didn't go to the Club World Cup. They were not in that Mundial. And yes, to see that at this early stage of the season, with the kind of money they've spent, with the guys they've brought in, I think they shouldn't be struggling. But one thing that you have to say is that they didn't balance up their transfer window, especially defensively. They did a lot going forward, but defensively they've not done enough. So I think that Liverpool still needs to be cautious. They need to go January and do the defensive balance.
Yes, I'm waiting for the restart of the second half in both of various centers across Europe. And Olympic Marseille 3-0 up against Ajax. What's the problem with Ajax right now? Last season they struggled also, and they lost the league. They were the architect of them losing the league. Yeah, that's the Eredivisie. They had to win. They needed just 2 out of 4 games to. I think was it 2 or 1? I think it was 1 victory out of 4 games to clinch down the title, and they just went on losing galore.
Yeah, they bottled it. The second in command to Arsenal. They usually know how to bottle things right there. So, but with the way it looks, I think they are the architect of their own downfall. So too many talent, sold too many. They had to just, shop change. There was a time they were close to the relegation zone last season. We should not forget that. It took them. They now went aggressively into the market, got some guys, the coach, and all those things before they could rally back and try top the table. And at the end of the day, they still lost it at the end of the day. So I think that Ajax is one team that they are approaching that transition period. And when those kinds of transition period come, oh God help you, you do the right thing to, snap out of it.
Okay, earlier on, it was Real Madrid 5, carry out 0 in that game. I think carry out a year in the UEFA Champions League to, probably
Mark the numbers.
mark the numbers and have fun. There's also an interesting player on the side of carry out. I'm talking about the player on loan, currently on loan from Chelsea to carry out. Yes, 17 years old. Carry out some striker, that is Stats Pevev. Lot of talking about the young man who's left to see if he'll be coming to Chelsea and make the numbers at the Blues or get up those goals. He has been touted as a next Sergio Aguero of football.
Everybody next. That's how you remember Musonda.
Yeah.
The next Hazard. The next
Okay, also
the
Kylian
next guy.
Mbappe with an hat-trick in that encounter, and also goals from
What's next is Esteval.
Esteban Neymar.
I thought they said Neymar.
I think Yamal is even more closer to Neymar than Esteban.
Esteban.
Esteban is not that.
The way Esteval
yeah,
plays.
the way he
that's
plays,
so
it looks
different.
more like William to me when William was at Chelsea.
It was I think it looks more like Robin.
Robin.
Yeah, because of their approach to the game, cutting to the right, cutting to the left. Be serious with the finishing. But Neymar, oh my goodness, very playful.
All right, ended 5-0 in that game between Real Madrid and Carriot. Kylian Mbappe with an hat-trick, and we also have Eduardo Camavinga with one at the 83rd minute, and Brahim Diaz, the Moroccan, putting the icing on the cake at the 93rd minute. And we have the players back on the pitch for the start of the second half. One man we have to talk about at Chelsea has to be Bonanate. How impressed have you been about about that young guy?
I know that young man. You just have to give it to him. He has really done well tonight so far. With the way he has read the game, his positional play, the way he interprets the game on the field of play, the way he comes to receive the ball, try to open up space. You can't say he will do what Palmer will do, but at least he's doing his own and he's showing the stuff he's made of.
Okay, the players are back on the pitch for the second half, and so we are also ready here at Premier Sports Fan Center for the start of the second half. Yes, it's a commentary based on program and the watch along where we give you analysis minute by minute of what is happening on the pitch of play. And our focus match is that one between Chelsea and Benfica. Chelsea currently or now for the second half, we're playing on the left of our screens in their all blue, and Chelsea will restart on play in the second half. Returns it back to the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez for the start of second half.
Yeah, start of second half, it is straight to Pedro Neto, who lost possession almost immediately, and is Benfica back in possession of the ball. Still Benfica attacking with the ball, but that will be a foul. And Bernardo now going into the books of the referee. Now another player, and I just hope that he can just bring on Esteval.
He just always up. Oh, he got the ball first, not the leg.
He got the ball.
I think he clipped the leg after losing the ball.
Yeah, he clipped the leg also. Got both the ball and the leg, but I think the referee could have overlooked that for a yellow card, but a free kick it should be.
Okay, that's a yellow card for the Chelsea midfielder currently on loan from Brighton. He'll be hoping that Chelsea turns that loan into a permanent signing come end of the season. Chelsea are good customers of Brighton. You can count how many
also
players.
on the field of play.
Yes, also on the pitch, on the field of play. Yes, but Benfica in possession of the ball and looks to returns it and returns it back into the defense where he finds Silva. And Silva straight into the path of Otamendi. Otamendi finds a trouble in the goalkeeper, and trouble set himself out of trouble there. Sent it straight to Dedic. Dedic holds onto the ball there, almost losing possession, but it's going to roll out for a throw-in to Benfica against Chelsea. The start of the second half just exactly the same way they started the first half. Take the pressure to Chelsea. Otamendi on the ball there and holds onto it. What will he make? And switches out and finds Dedic, but Dedic couldn't get onto that, and it's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea right there in the 47th minute. And yeah, it's Garnacho on the ball there, looks inward and finds Angel Fernandez, Fernandez finds a Badashir, who returns it back into the path of his Chelsea teammates. Yes, Chelsea Garnacho in possession of the ball, goes around this man, but chose to return it back into the middle of the park. And Chelsea returns it back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, not under pressure yet. And Robert Sanchez will hold on to it and finds Trevor Chaloba. And Chaloba looks inward and finds Bonanote. And Bonanote turns around and tries to get Malo Gusto. But this time around, it rolls out for a throw-in to Benfica.
Yeah, throwing to Benfica. It is 48 minutes of action played already at the Stamford Bridge, and it's that own goal from Rio that has been the difference between these two teams. Yes, Benfica taking the game to Chelsea, long ball forward, controlled down by the Benfica player straight to the center, and yes, Benfica attacking towards the final third, and they cross into the box, and a good chance.
Our net is
but
not
hey,
should be scoring that.
oh, that's
Our
an
net
offside.
offside.
Yeah.
Even without it being an offside, he should be putting that into the back of
Yeah,
the
it
net.
should be
That is
conversion.
an
You know,
offside.
we spoke about the conversion. The Benfica guys has been wasteful today.
Yeah, they've actually been wasteful. But, 1 out of 10, they can put it into the back of the net when
Yeah.
you least expect.
Yeah.
That's a good, beautiful build-up
Oh,
play
that's
there
an
from there. But
offside.
that's actually an offside. Bought a lot of spaces, a lot of plot of space.
Oh, the first
in
touch
that
let him
yeah.
out right there. The first touch let
Yeah,
him
that was.
out.
No, I think he had no, I think it was his movement after controlling the ball. The
No,
control
the
of the ball was
touch,
actually
the
good.
first touch was too heavy.
Was
It
the
too
touch
much
heavy or the follow-up?
No, where he positioned for the ball to come across was not where it went to. It was positioned in the front of his foot. It went straight to the ankle, so it got too heavy to meet up with. So that was why he had
Chelsea
to
looking
react
to
like
attack and looking for a second goal, but in the process, lost the ball there. Trying a one-man routine there, but Bonanote wins one ball back for Chelsea and goes on a solo run, brought down there. A referee says it's going to be a free kick. Would that be a red card for Richard Rios? And yes, it's from going. Is that his second yellow card? Yes, that is his second yellow card.
No, I don't
Oh, he
think
didn't get a yellow card in the first half.
Yeah.
It was Baraneche who got a yellow card in the
Yeah.
first half, and Rios has just gone into the books of the referee from all looking like going from
own
bad
goal.
towards own goal
Now
and
on
a
the
yellow
yellow
card for the Colombia international. It's a free kick to Chelsea. He actually brought down what's called Bonanote in that moment. Here's a free kick for Chelsea in the 50th minute. Another opportunity for Chelsea to double their lead in the second half. You're still no goal in this early stages of the second half, and still no goal in that one between Bodo Glimt and Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, it is 0-0 in that one in Norway. Very, very cold place to play football on a normal day. 58th minute it is. And yes, Chelsea has a free kick at the edge of the box, about 28, 27 meters thereabout. Maybe they'll whip this one in. I think about 30 meters. Maybe whip it in and try to get an header off this one. But let's see if somebody can be ambitious from this line. Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez stands next to this one. Neto cross into the box. Headed out by the Benfica player. And yes, Chaloba finds Malo Gusto with the ball, and Chaloba straight to Pedro Neto, and who wins the throw-in for Chelsea at this point in time, straight to Malo Gusto, throw-in taken quickly. Malo Gusto will send it back straight to Moises Caicedo, who looks not to be in full shape of himself, man. Moises Caicedo, he looks really tired.
Yeah, he's actually tired. You look at the number of games he has played for Chelsea, not just in the league alone last season. He was also overly present right there in the Club World Cup. And this season, all games for Chelsea, he has also been present for the Blues. And let's see how much Chelsea can manage that man, because they really need him in the middle of the park for the Blues. Yes, Chelsea attacking with the ball there, but lost out of possession there. Benfica regains possession against Chelsea, but Moises Caicedo wins it back for Chelsea and sends it straight onto the path of Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho tries to beat his man, but lost possession. Yes, Benfica in possession against the Blues and returns it back into the heart of the midfield and finds Silva going straight to troubling always setting himself in trouble, and looks onto the wing there, finds Dial in with the ball there, comes forward with the Chelsea defense still on ball and lost possession finally. And yes, Chelsea regaining possession. Moises Caicedo on the ball there, looks inward and finds Badashil. Badashil is looking really comfortable on the ball today.
Yeah, looking really comfortable, but you have to look at the opponent. What is the firepower Benfica has brought? Even while looking looking comfortable. They've conceded a lot of chances to Benfica so far in this encounter. They've
I
just
think
not
the Chelsea
converted.
manager should also be looking at making an early substitution right now because
Yeah.
the midfield is really Chelsea are really losing a lot of midfield battles right
Yeah.
now in this encounter.
And I think he needs to react. The best form of defense is attack. When you keep your opponent at bay, they won't come and attack you. And I think that's where Taran George most likely looks like a short one in this game so far.
Oh, who got a who got a shoulder back there? Is it Moses Caicedo or the Benfica's player? Let's see what
Estevao
referee
is
Estevao looks to be coming in. Probably will be seeing Garnacho or be withdrawn in this game.
Yeah, so most likely it might be Garnacho at the end of the day. And maybe a little switch from Pedro Neto or thereabouts.
Okay, yes,
And,
no, but then nothing might also be withdrawn because
Yeah, he's on
Estevao
yellow
he
card.
has the ability of playing as also the attacking
Playmaker.
midfielder, playmaker
Yeah.
for the team. So let's see where he'll be coming into this game. He'll be playing against a familiar foe in Richard Rios, or will he be able to force his former teammate into getting his matching orders in this encounter? And yeah, he's really going to be a big battle between
Lukebio.
Okay, look, Bekio right there. Yes, a chance for the second. Oh, what a chance for equalizer. And you have to look at it. Benfica,
Another
they've
offside.
really been wasteful in this game. Yes, another offside call against that man for the second time. Talking about your friend Osnes, or what's his name? Osnes there for the second time put himself in offside position. Probably the third time it might be a goal for that man.
Yeah, and look at it. And it still couldn't convert. It couldn't convert. And it would have been a close one to call.
Oh, I think he was trying to cut back there.
Mm.
I guess some be called by the referee as an offside there. Yes, I'm Chelsea preparing that substitution.
Bonanote,
Yes,
yeah. He's on a
Bonanote
yellow
have
card.
been withdrawn right there at the 54th minute of that encounter. Estevao being thrown into the middle of the park. It looks like he has an aim. Also telling the player up front that Tyrick George probably will be playing with a two-man up front right now in that encounter. We also have the fourth goal in that one. The first of one in the second half between Marcel and Ajax. It's Marcel 4, Ajax 0.
My goodness. Still running riot on Ajax. And it looks like Marseille is not going down without a fight this season. We saw how they defeated PSG in that encounter in the League On. And it looks like we have one team on the horizon on our hands. And I think, and that's Benfica.
Wow.
coming
Okay,
down.
finally we have a goal in that game. Oh, two goals in quick succession. Bodo Glimt scoring against Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham Hotspur replying immediately that we're going back to our draw. Our draw.
Football
They
is
got their first goal. That is Bodo Glimt. They got the first goal through Ayuch in the 53rd minute, and also 1 minute apiece apart. Rather, Tottenham Hotspur equalized in that game. 1-1 as it stands right now.
Yeah,
From 0-0 in the first half
to
up to
1-1
1-1 in the early stages of the second half. And the goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspur is Rodrigo Bentancur for Tottenham Hotspur in that encounter. What a way to start the second half. 1-1 as it stands right now. That means we have goals in all setters in tonight's UEFA Champions League game.
Yeah, and I think it's only the Liverpool game that is yet to see more than one goal so far.
No, also the Chelsea game 1-0.
Chelsea game also one in this evening's Champions League, and it looks like we have a season of a lot of goals in the Champions League, and I think it's also good to know that they've made it really flexible with the number of players. You can change with injuries and all during the season. And Pedro Neto attacking down the right for Chelsea. And what can he do? The boy tries to find space. He had to find it straight to Moses Caicedo, who returns it back to Badashi, who dropped it for Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto with a chance and a cross into the box. Oh, cleared off by Otamendi. For a
I don't know
Chelsea
if I'm
corner.
the only one who don't really fancy Pedro Neto's kind of dribbling.
Honestly, I don't really fancy it. Unnecessary as far as I'm concerned.
It's always too big for me. It
Yeah,
looks
I
like
prefer the Estevao kind of dribble.
yeah, it reminds me of the type of the time where we have Batan playing for
yes,
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Here's a corner kick for Chelsea. Quickly taking is a short one for Chelsea there. Returned back to Angel Fernandez, who looks inward and finds Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto finds Estevao. Estevao also to it and returns it back to Pedro Neto. What would Neto makes out of that? Cut back and sends a cross into the box. It's high rising. There's no Chelsea player to get onto the end of that. So Alejandro Garnacho beautifully put old L down there by the Argentine, but chose to return it back into the middle of the park. And Chelsea We chose to go back to the goalkeeper to reset.
Yeah.
There's a Malo Gusto on the ball there for the Blues as we're getting straight into the 57th minute mark in this encounter. It's still a solidarity goal from Chelsea in this one. 1-0 the lead, courtesy a gift by Richard Rios in the 16th minute. When we thought we'll be seeing a lot of goals in this game, unfortunately,
Honestly.
just one goal to report in 57 minutes.
Yes, will it be solidarity for the remainder of this 90 minutes? But will Chelsea or Benfica get one more or one in this encounter so far? 58 minutes at the Stamford Bridge, still that solidarity goal. Own goal it was, and there has not been a recognizable goal for a player in this encounter so far. Chelsea trying to play with fire that can burn and burn really, really hard. You see, this is one thing about fielding young players. They tend to make silly mistakes, lose concentration, and some of the likes.
Well, to me, I think that this Terry George audition is not working for me.
Yeah.
It's actually not working.
It's not
And
working.
This should be the last time I'm saying Terry George.
Honestly,
Reminds me
it's
about
not working.
Pochettino. You know, he was always at that match that time. Whenever Chelsea are without a nine, he always want to try to see if was it called Cole Palmer was going to work as a standing or as a makeshift nine for Chelsea. It never worked for the Blues all through the time of what's it called Mauricio Pochettino as the
yeah.
manager.
In
Chelsea
fact,
with the ball there, and they'll look to attack against Benfica. You are about to say
Yeah,
something.
and whenever Kopama plays at the first night, he struggles actually. What is this?
You don't really want to see that.
What is this?
You don't really want to see that. So, let's see. I think Benfica asking for a penalty, and there'll be a VR review on that. Is that a penalty? Let's see that again. No, I think the leg went down there. That was your friend Lucabio and Enzo Fernandez. Let's see that again. I think he went crashing straight at Enzo Fernandez, not Enzo getting him down. So I don't expect that to be a penalty. What do you think?
I don't think that's
No.
a penalty. I think
Play
that was a
restarted. Jose Mourinho was actually asking for a penalty there.
penalty. You know,
But the referee said
Mourinho,
no, it's not a
he
penalty.
travels on controversies. Is like a part of him. So I think he will complain at every decision. He will try to make noise about it.
Yes,
and,
Chelsea in possession of the ball there. He should be releasing that almost immediately to the to the movement
Malo
of
Gusto.
Malo Gusto, but he chose to hold on to the ball. Pedro Neto with the ball for Chelsea and chose to restart from the back there and finds Trevor Chalobah to straight into the part of Badashil, returns it back to Trevor Chalobah. Chalobah looks inward there, finds his Chelsea teammates, and Chelsea losing possession in the middle of the park. The Blues in possession. A referee says that is not a foul. Pedro Neto will approach on the Benfica box and cut in right there. And still looking for a post way to get a shot. And finally hits that shot, but unfortunately that won't threaten the Benfica backline in the second. I won't be surprised if this game finally end up as a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I won't be surprised because these guys looks like they are not. You know, it's getting to that point in time whereby they lose team. They
Yeah,
lose
this is the substitution
concentration.
we're asking for. And that is João Pedro, and also Jimmy Gittins being prepared to be thrown into this encounter. So finally, I think it might be the end of the night for
Garnacho
or Pedro Neto, one of the
Pedro
two. But one name that is certainly that will be
I
going
think it'll be
has to be
Garnacho.
Tyreek George. And I won't be surprised if he leaves Tyreek George out of the speech.
Tyreek George,
We draw Garnacho and Pedro Neto.
I think Terry George will be out.
Okay, yes, that is the first one.
Tyreek-
The first of the two substitution is Tyreek George and Bill withdrawn right there for Zhao. And we also have Garnacho also been withdrawn for
For
Jimmy
Gittins.
Gittins. So let's what they bring into this game. One assist for Alejandro Garnacho in this one. A good start for him, no doubt.
Yeah, a good start, not bad. He can grow from there, and it's a way to go. It shows that he's confident. You know, for a player that didn't really partake in preseason, you have to cut him some slack. Also, he will grow into the season, and let's see how far he will go from there. And now Chelsea has a proper number 9. If you look at João Pedro, also he looks tired.
I think Jimmy Gittins also needs to start scoring.
Yeah, but then look at how fresh Jimmy Gittins looks.
Yes, the Chelsea in possession of the ball and the look to attack against Benfica, but it's a throw into the Blues right there. We also have Frankfurt reducing the deficit in that one against Atletico Madrid. It's currently Atletico Madrid 3, Frankfurt 1. In that game is already in the 61st minute, and also this one between Chelsea and Benfica is already in the 62nd minute. We have under 30 minutes for Chelsea to hang on to the slim lead. Benfica coming back in this one.
Yeah, just keep it tight at the back. Don't concede because 1-0 is all 3 points in the game of football right there. The Benfica player down, holding his shoulders. Let's hope that he can stand up and get back into the game. One player you don't want to see out injured has to be João Pedro. And look at 2 guys on him already, identified him as a threat. And it looks like him coming up and already on a yellow card.
Oh, João Pedro?
Yeah, just coming in and got that yellow card. I don't know why the referee will give him a yellow card on for that attempt.
Probably it was maybe a malicious tackle in
Yeah,
that.
he had that he contested for an header. And
Okay, let's just hope he can hang on for the remaining 27 minutes of this game and not get frustrated or go into an unnecessary tackle and get himself sent off. Because for the past how many games right now just have we getting records?
it's about
Yeah,
Premier League games actually. They've been on the red card books of the referee.
Okay, it's going to be a free kick, and it's your friend there who started that Luke Bakio study on that free kick duties for Benfica. What will they be making out of this? Will this be a chance for them to reduce deficit or equalize in this account? A long one into the box there. Easily dispossessed of the ball, but it's still Benfica. But Chelsea will look to challenge or chase that. That should be a yellow card to that man there. Another of your friend, Osnes there.
Yeah,
As
them are my
Osnes,
friends.
you have 2 friends there. That is look back you and Osnes right there. And Osnes will be getting his own yellow card in this encounter. That happened in front of the referee, so I don't think there's any way he was going. There's no excuse there because that was Chelsea eating out on the counter, and he actually disrupted the Blues attack movement in that encounter. Yes, that was the yellow card for Honest there in that encounter. So we have about 3 Benfica. Unfortunately, we have the 3 Benficas center midfielders on yellow card already. So
yeah,
I think they are actually trading on a thin line right now.
on a very thin line. They need to be careful. And what is this from Enzo to Gittins? And let's see what Gittins will do with the ball. He tries to take on the player. Oh, cuts into the box and a cross. Oh, good first touch from Jeremy Gittins. And possession in contention back to Malogu, who drops it off for Moises Caicedo straight to Enzo Fernandez, who will check the run of Estevao straight to the Benfica goalkeeper, who take that one as easy as possible right there. 62%, 38% is ball possession it is in that encounter. The Stamford Bridge 65th minute of that encounter. It's still Chelsea leading 1-0 right there.
Some Chelsea leading 1-0, and unfortunately for Tottenham Hotspur, they are chalked off their equalizer in that game against Bodo Glimt. So it's back to 1-0. Bodo leading in that air counter. Scoreline from the various centers currently sits Atletico Madrid 3, Frankfurt 1. We have Bodo Glimt leading 1-0 against Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea at home against Benfica currently leading 1-0. We also have Galatasaray leading against Liverpool against all odds in that encounter 1-0. Inter Milan made it 3 against Slavia Praha. We also have Olympic Marseille 4 goes up against Ajax in the 64th minute. Pafos 1, Bayern Munich 4 at the 68th minute of that encounter. So back to the Chelsea game. We have about 65 minutes played already, and it's still 1-0 Chelsea leading. It's not what we can really say. It's a done game.
Yeah, it's not done, it's not dusted. There's actually a lot to play for. A lot can happen in the game of football in 35 more minutes to go. So I think that, Chelsea needs to be careful. And it's 2-0 in that Tottenham game.
Okay, yes, it's 2-0 already. That is Bodo Glimt doubling their lead in that counter. Yes, they're playing at home. We're talking about how tough it is playing against Bodo Glimt at home. And also Bayern Munich has made it 5 against Pafos. It's Bayern Munich 5, Pafos 1 in that counter.
Yeah, it's Bayern Munich running riot on
It's the
the
same man. Just Peter Orge getting the second goal for Bodo Glimt.
I think in Norway something is happening to their football. The way they are springing up talent right, left, and center. Look at that guy that just joined Leipzig. Look at Odegaard. Look at Aland. Look at some guys that.
And there's Nusa. There's Nusa
Norway.
also at Leipzig, another
Leipzig
fantastic
also, yeah.
player on his own day. Yes, Chelsea will look to attack right here. Is Jimmy Gittins on the ball there? What will he make out of that? Being held down. And referee allows plays to continue against a lot there. Michael Olise finally putting a ball into the back of the net, and that's one for Bayern Munich. A fifth goal against Paphos. It's Bayern Munich 5, Paphos 1 in that encounter. And the only game where we have one goal apiece is the game between Chelsea against Benfica 1-0, and also Galatasaray against Liverpool. It's 1-0. I only pick myself 4 against Ajax, and Bayern Munich 5 against Paphos. These are the two sides who have scored the most goals tonight.
Winning goals right, left, and center, except for the game between Chelsea, Benfica, and also Galatasaray, Liverpool right there. And if there's one fixture I would have loved to see, it would have been that fixture, because I have interest in seeing how Osimhen will fare against a side like Liverpool right there.
Okay, is that going to be a Chelsea throw-in? Yes, that should be a throw-in to Chelsea, as Jamie Gittins actually allowed that to roll out for a throw-in.
There's one thing you just have to look at. In the world of football, is there any left back that's better than Marco Carella right now?
You can argue Nuno Mendes, another fantastic player on his own day.
Yeah, Nuno Mendes, yeah, for PSG,
Yeah.
right there.
Okay, there's a Chelsea in possession.
And
looking
also
to
there's
attack right
DiMarco.
now. Yeah, there's also DiMarco with what's it called, Inter Milan.
Inter Milan,
So
yeah.
fantastic player as well. You can always also give it to Marco Correa. He's always a reliable
Top.
left back for the Blues. It's going to be a throw in there to Chelsea at the 69th minute of the second time. We're barely 21 minutes away from the 90-minute mark in this game. Benfica will look to attack in this one. Luke Bacchio with the ball there. What will he make out of that? Tries to beat Marco Correa. But that rolls out for a throw to Benfica.
Yeah, so throwing to Benfica at the 69th minute of that encounter. It looks like the guys are arriving, with the ball arriving to the back of the net.
And finally,
for
Tottenham
Benfica.
Hotspur has put one back in that encounter by Mark van der Veen, scoring one back at the 68th minute. So it's currently Bodo Glimt 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
But let's just see if will not chop that one off also. So game on in that one. Chelsea still leading 1-0 at the bridge. Also 3-0 in that Inter Milan game against Slavia Prague. Now Bodo Glimt 2, Tottenham 1. Yeah, you can see fireworks can happen. A game where there was no goal in the first half.
Now we have 3
Now
now.
they have 3 in the
Even
second
one
half.
chucked off.
Oh my
It's like
god.
4 goals. I guess Benfica in possession against Chelsea right there, as they are looking to rally back and get something out of those games. You have to give it to them. I think they've actually
Give a
held
good
their own against Chelsea.
Yeah,
Also.
they've given a good account of themselves, but you have to talk about a much second fringe side of Chelsea, and not really dominating like that. And there's one thing: this ideology of dominating possession and not doing
putting it in the back of
something.
the net. The
and
goal really matters.
at the end of the game, you hear things
That's
like,
beautiful beautiful save there from Troubling. And also, I think there was a Benfica player who actually got a head onto that. Yes, Atletico Madrid scored their 4th goal already. So it's Atletico Madrid 4, Frankfurt 1 in that encounter. There's really a lot of goals coming in from various centers of the UEFA Champions League tonight.
yeah, a lot of goals. It's been raining goals. I think all centers have witnessed at least one goal each in this round of matches. And if we will look at the number of goals for this round alone, maybe it will be close to 30 goals or thereabout, or 40 or even 50 tonight so far.
Looking at Benfica, yes, it was a different Benfica side at the Club World Cup. We saw Angel Di Maria when he was still there. And it's looking like that Angel Di Maria's position, or his presence is being missed in this Benfica side.
Luke Bacco came in to slot into that position, and I think he has not done badly, because it was an aging Di Maria, so there was a limit to what he could do at the end of the day, and he just had to move on, and they have to move on from him also.
Okay, yes, Atletico Madrid's 4th goal was scored by Simeone in the 70th minute of
The
that
son of the manager.
Yes, the 70th minute of that encounter. So the 71st minute in this one between Chelsea and Benfica. It looks like a Benfica player currently down on the top, and the medics are attending to him.
It looks
Hopefully,
like a concussion.
yeah, hopefully he'll be
Head
able
to
to
the ground
continue in this
situation.
encounter. Okay, as well, let's see if Chelsea will be doubling their lead. Looking at the substituted players brought into the second half, do you think they've actually brought in more life into this game?
Yeah, I think they've brought in more life, but not in the measure we would have expected them to bring onto the field of play. It looks still balanced, but a bit of improvement going forward. We can see more presence in the box, which has led to this injury situation. More awareness, more pressure on the Benfica players, but it has not been up to what I personally expect it to be.
Okay, so let's say if but Chelsea has a corner kick to play in that moment, and also that game between Galatasaray and Liverpool is still 1-0. Hoping to see who is going to score the second goal in that one. I really want to see Galatasaray winning that game.
Honestly, I want to see them winning, but with at least 3 goals at the end of the day, make it more exciting. When there are goals in games, it looks more interesting to watch at the end of the day. So
Okay, with that speed, and that is Benfica be forced into making their first substitution is Antonio Silva being replaced by Thomas Araujo in this encounter. And that was Antonio Silva being forced out by that injury. He's always a fantastic and reliable centre back for his club and country.
yeah, but you just have to take precaution right there. Games like this where you're already trailing 1 goal to 0, you can just absorb this one and try to see if you can get your key man back for the next round of games.
All right, corner kick to Chelsea right there. What will they make out of this with the spirit chance for them to double their lead as they have 18 minutes to play in this encounter? Corner kick, which taking that and sends. That beats. No, that was very close then from Pedro Neto. Coming close doesn't do it, but it's a goal kick out there for Benfica. You can see Jose Mourinho looks like he'll also be making 2 extra substitutions, or 3. Looks like it's
Yeah, it
3.
looks like it's
Yeah,
3.
3 players will be thrown in to this game to refresh and reshuffle the Benfica side. There's still a dangerous side in this game.
Yeah, there's still a dangerous side. The game has been balanced. Chelsea has just been lucky with the goal Chelsea have. So I think if Benfica turn off the heat, I think the heat will be heated really, really bad in the Stamford Bridge.
Okay, he has no troubling on the ball there and finds Araujo. Araujo goes out wide and finds Dedic on the ball there for Benfica. Cuts inward and returns back to Troubling. And Troubling will hold on to the ball for Benfica. Looks inward and finds that man in number 5. Goes out straight to the wing. Finds Dale. And Dale looks inward there. Tries to get in. Yes, might just be a chance to Chelsea, but no. João Pedro was actually battled off of the ball, wrestled off the ball, and returns back into the heart of the defense there. Benfica trying to build up play from the defense to attack against Chelsea. And what would they make out of that? Still Benfica in possession. Right now we're in the 7th to 5th minute of the second half. 15 more minutes to play in regulation time. I think it's still a lot of time to play in this game.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time in this one. And let's see who will laugh last at the end of this game. Or maybe
To me, it looks more like Benfica actually deserves a draw in this
They
encounter.
deserve
Look at the way
something from
just
this
has really
game
been
so far.
disappointing in this
really,
encounter.
really disappointing. You have to say, to call a spade a spade. Take the bull by the horn right there. Chelsea has been really, really lackadaisical in this game so far. They've not played the game like the team that wants to take out 3 points. They just came to, mark attendance that they played this game at the end of the day. So
Hope that's not going to be a red card to the Chelsea striker. As the referee is having a view of that. João Pedro going barging straight into Otamendi there. Let's see that again. Hope that is not an elbow into the eye of Otamendi. I don't think that was intentional, but he needs to be careful.
he needs to be
going into
really
tackles.
careful. He needs to be careful. He needs to be careful. He needs to be
I don't think that was
careful, yeah.
intentional.
I think he protected himself. Yeah. I don't think that's a yellow card.
So Otamendi is currently down on the top there and holding onto his mouth and chin right there. Let's see if the Argentine legend will be able to continue this game. But meanwhile, Jose Mourinho will be preparing to substitution to try and salvage a point or probably still 3 points in the dying embers of this encounter.
Yeah, will they take all 3 points away from Chelsea nose, under the Chelsea nose right there? Or will it be that They will actually lose this one after fighting so hard at the Stamford Bridge right there. Free kick to Benfica it is. And Benfica have 77th minute of this encounter so far. It's still Chelsea leading 1 goal to 0, and one goal scored by Rio in the first half. And yeah, it has proved to be the difference between these two sides for so far this game. 76 minutes of action so far. That was an important clearance from Trevor Chalobah, and it will be a throw in to Benfica. It looks like now is the
They've
time.
actually been the better
Yeah.
side. They've been
Yeah.
the better side, and I think the last
In
couple of
the
minutes.
curious moment, the important moment of the game.
Oh, your guy is not
Benfica
taken
has
outside.
looked
That is
better.
Luke Bakio being withdrawn by Osimo Rio right there. So let's see what are the substitutes we'll be bringing. Rio's also been withdrawn, and we also have Sudakov also been taken out of this counter, and replacing them we have Ivanovic, Barrerio, and also we're getting the last player who was oh Jesus. We have also have Shudderop being thrown into
Wow.
that counter. Those are the three substitutions being made by Osemurio at the 78th minute of this encounter. But
Yeah.
Chelsea back in possession of the ball, almost losing the ball in a dangerous situation there. Because
And Enzo
yeah,
is
he's
also a yellow card.
Kukureya on the ball there, switches out wide and finds Jimmy Gittins. And Jimmy Gittins will hold on to the ball for the Blues and returns it back into the heart of the fence, finds Badashil, and Badashil to the Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Sanchez looks inward and finds Moises Caicedo. He has a Chelsea in possession. Malo Gusto with the ball for the Blues, then drops it straight to Trevor Chalobah, who is not having any of that dangerous play at the back, and tries to play it out for the Blues. There's Benfica with a chance here, with this very chance for the equalizer. They find himself in the Chelsea box, but a lot of romancing on the ball there. Tries to create a space for himself, but Chelsea regains possession. They'll be eating out on the counter. With this be the momentum for the Blues as they go about 3 against 4 there. But I think they'll reduce the momentum. Jamie Gittins on the ball there, approaches on the Benfica box and switches out back and finds the captain. And yeah, might just be the chance. A beautiful save there from the goalkeeper. Esteval rising highest there, but couldn't direct his header into the back of the net.
Yeah, that was a good attempt from the Brazilian youngster. And yes, the look at that cross
Offside. That would have been outside.
was not off.
I think a control there, or just a drop header to what's it called? Pedro Neto would have been better there in that process.
Yeah, I think that was the best attempt. Just go in with that header. But you have to give it to the goalkeeper. Sharp reflex. And he had to do what he had to do at the end of the day right there.
As Benfica in possession of the ball, looking to attack against Chelsea and probably chase an equalizer in this one. As we're getting straight into the 79th minute of that encounter, and also 79 minutes in various centers. Still no goal to report in different centers as it stands. As Atletico Madrid 4, Frankfurt 1, Bodo Glimt leading 2-1 against Tottenham Hotspur, just 1, Benfica 0, Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0, Inter Milan 3, Slavia Praha 0. We also have Olympic Marseille 4, Ajax 0, Pafos 1, Bayern Munich
Bayern Munich
5
5,
in that encounter. Back to the Chelsea game.
I thought you
minutes,
wanted to
10
say
more minutes to go.
Benfica 5.
10 more minutes to play in that game. 80th minute as it stands right now. Benfica coming all out to see if they can get a needed or an important equalizer in this encounter.
Yeah, football will only be fair if they got that equalizer, because they brought the game straight to Chelsea.
I also have Chelsea preparing 2 substitutions right now. Achipong and also Rhys James being thrown into this game. And Malo Gusto is one of those substitutions.
Yeah, Malo Gusto being withdrawn from Rhys James, and you have to just give it to Enzo Maresca.
Who is the
The
bringing
way
for? Who is the
he-
withdrawing
the way he
for?
has-
And you can see the fans. Some of
way
them
he
are already
has
making their way out.
managed-
Oh, Badashil out for. I don't see any reason why Badashil
Achipong.
should be withdrawing in this game. I just hope he's not killing this game himself.
I don't know.
Okay,
Really.
those are the substitutions of Rhys James and Achepong being thrown in by Enzo Maresca. And Badashil, yeah, some fantastic game from the French centre back. He should be starting the game for Chelsea against Liverpool. And Rhys James getting his captain unbarred in this one for the remaining 10 minutes. So let's see what the Chelsea captain will be bringing into this game against Benfica.
Yeah, let's say it is 10 minutes left in this one. And let's see how many minutes will be additional time. We should not be more than 3 minutes or thereabout. at the end of the day, barring any unforeseen circumstances right there. So Chelsea back in play, and it's the 81st, approaching the 82nd minute of this game. Achipong, the Chelsea player right there, playing from defense. And there's one thing about that young man. He knows how to set.
He's comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, really, really comfortable.
And Jimmy Gittins was that.
No, lost possession right there. And you just have to give it to him to recover it. My goodness, look at that swift one touch. Oh my goodness, Casado considered that throwing at the end of the day. So Chelsea are back on the defensive foot in this encounter so far. It looks like those 3 substitutions Mourinho made are beginning to pay off.
Yeah, that's what they bring into this remaining 9 minutes of this account as we're approaching the 82nd minute of this game between Chelsea and Benfica. As Benfica in possession returns back into the defense where he finds Thomas Araujo. Araujo comes forward with the ball there and still finds his way, looks inward into the midfield, finds his teammate of Benfica looking to initiate an attack against the Blues in this one. Still Benfica in possession. What would they make of that? Dale on the ball there, cuts inward with the ball, finds his man there. Yeba just very chance for that equalizer there, looking for a shot there, but that's met a blue block on the way. Chelsea will look to attack. Pedro Neto shouldn't be waiting for the ball there as Benfica returns and regains possession, turns around. And yes, that man was thrown into this game. Attacking 1-2 there from Benfica with this big chance. A beautiful defensive block there, and they're asking for a penalty. The ball came off the hand of the Chelsea captain, Rhys James. And let's see if will be interested in having a view of that. Rhys James blocking that for the Chelsea side. I think it took straight to his belly. If it was an handball there, his hand was in natural position. That wouldn't have been a penalty. We have the Benfica captain there also, Nicolas Otamendi, getting a yellow card and telling the referee that should have been an handball. I'm very sure Jose Mourinho will have lots of words after the game.
But this one is obviously not.
This was to his chest, so I don't know why they're actually arguing that should be a penalty. Benfica with a corner kick against Chelsea. I can't really recollect seeing them playing corner kick in this game.
Yeah, I doubt. No, I think they have in the first half.
Benfica?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, Chelsea clearing their lines off in this encounter, but still Benfica in possession of the ball, looking to attack and get that equalizer. A chance for them as they find themselves in the box there. What would they make out of that? That is it. Well, that's when side netting, not into the back of the net. A beautiful piece of skill there from Ivanovic.
Yeah, beautiful piece of skill right there. The first touch, but the finish.
The finish actually let him down there.
Yeah, the finish let him down. He couldn't pick his spot. And the goalkeeper will happily see that walk off the field of play. So it's goal kick to Chelsea. You can see the fans really
they played not really much corner kicks in this game. 3 for Chelsea and 3 for Benfica also.
Yeah, for the bookies that goes for corner kick, this one will be a bad market.
Bad market. All right, straight into the 85th minute of this games. The game between Galatasaray and Liverpool is still 1-0 in that encounter. We're expecting more fireworks and more goals in that center. The one between Chelsea is also 1-0. Atletico Madrid going gaga in this one. It's 5-1 already against Frankfurt in that game. Bayern Munich against the Pafos is still 5-1. Bayern Munich are leading against Pafos, while we also have Olympic Marseille 4, Ajax 0, Inter Milan 3, Slavia Prague 0. And we're back to our Foca match where we have 5 minutes left in that encounter.
Yeah, 5 minutes left it is in this one. And it looks like, Chelsea is still going to take this lead so far in this encounter, but it looks like Benfica is also growing more into this game, and Chelsea losing everything they have going forward, with Benfica attacking right, left and center. I think I have to fault some of the substitution. I think he could have increased the number of bodies defensively.
Let's see how they angle for the next 4 minutes of this game as we're approaching the 86th minute. As Benfica were taking the pressure to Chelsea. Otamendi on the ball there, switches to the wing and finds his teammates there, looks inward, but still Benfica. Chelsea regains possession. Esteval on the ball for the Blues, and it will be leading a late charge for Chelsea. Cuts inward, still holds onto the ball. The Brazilian 18 years old midfielder returns it back to the Chelsea captain, who finds Moises Caicedo on the ball there, and finds Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez holds onto the ball, not in a rush. Finally drops it into the path of his Chelsea teammate. Enzo Fernandez returns and gets Achipong on the ball And yeah, he's Rhys James. Rhys James looks inward and finds Moises Caicedo, who returns it back to Rhys James. And there are not a lot of Chelsea players, making themselves available for passes in those situations.
And those situations put the goalkeeper under intense pressure right there. And they need to do better with their in-game play, the way they open up space for the players to take on support cast. And also 87 minutes of that encounter, throwing it is for Benfica, and they will send it forward. And Benfica are throwing everything they have at Chelsea, and
And that's another corner kick to Benfica. Yeah. It's like, let's say, what happens in that moment. I think it looks more like a corner kick to me in that situation. We're straight into the 87th minute. 3 more minutes to play in this game. Yes, it's a corner kick to Benfica at the 87th minute. And they have a lot of threats in the box. The likes of Otamendi in the box, Ivanovic also in the box there. Those are players who are area threats in a game of football like this. Well, let's see what they make out of that. 8 minutes, about barely 2 more minutes to play in regulation time. A cross into the box there. And straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez.
yeah, Robert Sanchez had to grab that one and grabbed it easily.
Otamendi is an animal on the pitch.
Honestly, with the way
Yes, Otamendi with the ball there. Cross the loop, cross into the box there. Chelsea clears the lines with this big chance for a counter attack. Jimmy Gittins on the ball there and wins up possession. What's that from the Chelsea player?
honestly, the lackadaisical attitude on the ball, off the ball and also on the ball is beginning to show towards the dying ember.
I just hope they don't approach on the Liverpool game with this kind of mentality. It's really going to be
You
frustrating
can't
to see.
give what you don't have. It's what you have, you will give.
John Pedro has also got himself a yellow card in this encounter. We have blocked players on yellow card already. On the side of Chelsea, 3 Chelsea players, or 2 Chelsea players on yellow card. Enzo, 3 right now, yeah.
3.
Enzo Fernandez and Bonaneto. And João Pedro also got himself, and now we have Pedro Neto. That is 4 Chelsea players on the yellow card. On the side of Benfica, also 4 players on the yellow card.
So balanced so far in that encounter. And see Benfica attacking with the ball, and Chelsea wins back possession. Gittins tries to attack with the ball, and it looks like Gittins is now putting himself under pressure to perform at Chelsea. What
The
is
finishing
that?
touch. The finishing touch was actually the problem there. I think there was no good communication, but he looks more lively than when Garnacho was on the pitch.
Yeah,
The way he approached on the box, and
I
the
think Chelsea
finishing touch
just
is
have
just the problem.
2 average players on that wing. So honestly, they need to grow. They can grow to become exceptional. They have the potential, but it's one thing to have potential; it's another thing
To fulfill it.
To fulfill it. So.
Okay, back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, as Chelsea restart play from the back there.
Look at
Tries
this.
to play in Marco Correa, but
What is
unfortunately,
this?
and that rolls out for a throw into Benfica right there at the 8th and 9th minute as we're approaching the 90th minute. The only goal scored in this game was Richard Rio's own goal in the 18th minute. Probably we'll have having a 0-0 affair between Chelsea and Benfica. Benfica preparing another substitution in this encounter.
Yeah, Benfica loading the box, and that's the way to go. You have to increase
Enrique
the
Araujo being thrown into it right now to try and salvage a point, if possible, for Benfica. And I won't be surprised if they get that late equalizer in the second. We're straight into the 90th minute. We'll be seeing how much minutes the center referee and the fourth official will be adding onto this game. But still Benfica in possession. Nicolas Otamendi on the ball there. He has been fantastic at the back for Benfica. He approaches on the Chelsea's up half of the pitch. And here's Benfica. Will it be a cross? Some sends it straight into the park. Ooh! You're still Benfica looking, but the finishing touch has always been a problem for them in this game. You should be setting the Chelsea player on the run there. Here's Chelsea attacking right now.
It's after walking through about 3
Esteval?
players, Esteval, and you set up a very hospital pass right there. Oh,
And here's Benfica attacking. They have Rhys James to beat there, set it on the line with his great chance for the equalizer. But it's another corner kick to Benfica. We have 6 minutes additional time be added by the match officials. Is that not too much minutes be added in this game?
I don't think it should be up to that, but the referee has spoken, and funnily, it's at least 6 minutes.
Oh,
It can't
finally,
be more.
Tottenham Hotspur has their equalizer in that game against Bodo Glimt. That game is now 2-2 in that encounter. Will you take it as a good game for Tottenham Hotspur or a bad game for them?
Yeah, I think it will be a good game. Going into that very harsh weather, cold to the the skin, and he survived going 2-0 down, coming back. I think it's not bad. It's not bad at the end of the day.
All right, so 5 more minutes to play in the additional time right there. Wow. Is that a number? I think there was a pull there. That was what the Benfica players were asking for. But that is that man in the middle of the park for Benfica. Talking about Baron Nache. Was held there but couldn't get that into the back of the net. Long one for the Chelsea goalkeeper into the middle of the park. Benfica and seeing more of the ball in this dying embers. And I think I've seen this happen to Chelsea before.
Yeah.
And the end, we know what
Against
the end.
Brentford.
Yeah, even against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and they consider successful.
That might just be another yellow card.
I think at this point, bringing on Andre Santos won't be bad. To actually
stabilize the middle of the
yeah,
park.
yeah, to actually block those passes, because Benfica now are not growing in confidence. They are attacking without being defensively conscious. So I think that when teams are attacking like this, if the home team does not react, it can be risky.
Against Benfica attacking against Chelsea. Will they be getting that equalizer? They're 4 minutes away from that. As we're getting straight into the third minute of 6 minutes additional time, which leaves us with barely 3 more minutes to play. And also Galatasaray are looking like to be running away with that 1-0 win over Liverpool in that encounter. Still time to play as that game is already in the 90th plus minute, but Galatasaray still holds on to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Galatasaray leading 1-0, and that's the way to go. If you can't add to the goal cushion, then defend the one you have already. And I know that at this time, Liverpool will be coming at them.
Is that not Simuriel getting a yellow card?
I think it will be him. You can't live past that, but yeah,
typical Simuriel.
Typical Simuriel. I think it will be okay. No, I think it's the assistant.
Okay, the assistant. Okay, it's full time in that game between Inter Milan and Slavia Prague. That game ended Inter 3, Slavia 0. It also ended 5-1 for Bayern Munich against Pafos. It ended 5-1 for Atletico Madrid against Frankfurt in that one. Also, that is a confirmation. We have just 3 games to go. The Chelsea game, the Galatasaray game, and the Bodo Glimt game. Total in that one, 1-0 in the one between Galatasaray and Liverpool, and also 1-0 between Chelsea and Benfica, where we have barely 2 more minutes to play in that encounter. 2 more minutes for Benfica to salvage a point against Chelsea, and 2 more minutes for Chelsea to hang on to a slim victory over Benfica in this game.
9 members of that one. Pedro Neto trying to be tricky, and he needs to stand up and play football so that they can.
I don't really understand how Pedro Neto gets to play 90 minutes.
I don't understand. I still don't understand. Even from the first time he was brought in, not really my kind of player, but you can't deny that sometimes he has huge impact on games, like he has had on today's game also with that cross, because that is a very good cross. But I think that he should be one of the squad players, not the go-to guys.
All right, yes, Chelsea attacking with one of their last attack in this counter. Jimmy Gittins on the ball there, finds himself in the box. What is he doing right there, for Christ's sake? You have a lot of players. The decision making has really been poor from the Chelsea wingers in this encounter.
To score matter. You've considered, I think, 4.
I think experience.
Was it 4 or 3 against Bayern?
3.
3 against Bayern. Chelsea
Inexperience has to be one of the biggest problems for the Blues.
Yeah.
Because you see those players, a lot of them trying to just find a way to also get onto the score sheet.
And for the hierarchy, they just feel that experience is being over-bloated. But yeah, they will experience it themselves.
Yes, and we're straight into the 5th minute of 6 minutes, and you can see the Benfica fans actually feeling that they deserve something from this game. But unfortunately, it looks like Chelsea will be running away with a slim victory as we're getting straight into the last minute of 6 minutes additional time. And always forget, it's a minimum time, not a maximum time additional time. Yes, I throw into Chelsea. Marco Correa being assisted to get onto the ball there, and takes a long one into the field there. Yes, still Chelsea in possession. Hope that's not going to be a yellow card. That is the red card to João Pedro. He was brought into the second half of this game. For the 3rd game running, Chelsea is having a player being sent off.
And needless red card. And these guys will say It doesn't matter. Now,
Keep on saying it. Indiscipline.
That game.
Indiscipline. Indiscipline, yeah. Oh, but I don't think he got the
the
head.
leg did not get the head. I think this will be appealed.
I don't think he got onto the. I don't think he got the player head there. But let's see that again. If Vera will be having a view of that yellow card. The second yellow card there for João Pedro, and he has been sent off of this encounter for a red card being received. That is a double 2 yellow card for the Chelsea striker. And Chelsea will have to play that game against Barcelona without a striker.
Ah, so maybe
November.
Larry George again.
Or maybe Magui.
Really funny names.
And funny enough, I didn't really see much impact on him in this game. In this game.
I feel that Villa must have checked that. Maybe they saw the touch. That's why the red card stayed. But Chelsea can still appeal
Straight
that.
into the 6th minute, approaching the 7th minute of this encounter, as Benfica who might be trying to take advantage of that one man down, but it seems like there's no much time for them to take advantage of that.
Yeah. There's no much time. Straight into the last minute of additional time. That was where it all happened.
What's this?
I don't know why.
God of Nazareth. All right, so straight into the last 10 balls of this encounter. Benfica still in possession, and play has to be paused as we have 2 balls on the pitch there. And Jose Mourinho had to recover one of the balls, but still Benfica in possession. A long one aimed at the Chelsea box there, but Marco Correa will get onto the end of that. He should be clearing that. That is how you clear ball properly. And that is the final whistle. Luckily, Benfica won't take advantage. Why is the Chelsea manager celebrating that?
You know, one win out of the last 3 games, and so and he knew that Chelsea does not deserve this.
But I think there's a need to have ways with the players. It looks more like indiscipline in the Chelsea side.
It looks more like
lots of
it's very
indiscipline because
obvious.
3 red cards in 3 matches.
No, not just the red card. Look at the way they finish up when they started. Look at their attitude after they lose possession. Look at their attitude. Look at how they, when you approach the box and try to dribble and it doesn't work out. Look at the attitude. I think indiscipline. And it comes with young players. It comes with a lot. So when there's a senior man factor, it will call them to order at the end of it.
All right, it's full time in that game between Chelsea and Benfica, and Chelsea has just won that 1-0. Your final take on your mind?
Yeah, I think good game by Benfica. Chelsea, not bad, but Chelsea should do a lot of improving.
Okay, as well, it ended with a slim victory to the Blues on their return to the UEFA Champions League at Stamford Bridge, and they'll take these 3 points as they are waiting on their next game against Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League. But still to come this weekend, we have that big game between Chelsea and Liverpool. Tomorrow, there's also the big games lined up in the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal we're hosting Olympiacos, while we also have a PSG against Barcelona, and that game is going to be a mouth-watering encounter. Thanks for being with us on Premier Sports Fan Center. Until we come your way tomorrow, it's bye for now.